All right. What is up, YouTube? What is going on, fellow fantasy people? And of course, what is up, the catch? Fam, you guys already know what time it is, man. Tuesday. It is officially Tuesday, guys. That means week 10 is kicking off, baby. Super stoked to be here with you guys. Tonight, we've got Steven in the building. Steve, what is up, man?
Man, we're coming off of 2 weeks in a row where it's just been underdog winning performances. I mean, 2 weeks in a row where everybody that you think is going to win, they don't show up. They don't play well. So I'm hopeful that we're going to get a little bit back to normalcy. But yeah, man, it's been exciting these past couple weeks.
It's been something, man.
Yeah.
I was curious to get your take on that, as the night developed, but it's like, I don't even know what to say. Like, this whole season's been so strange, but
it has.
This
I think
past
a lot of that is about the injuries.
Yeah. This past week was like I think the weirdest week we've had so far, for sure.
Yeah, coming off that one, and then the week before that, you had a bunch of backups beating star quarterbacks. So it was just like, what the hell is going on? I mean, when Tom Brady loses to Trevor Siemian, we're in an alternate universe. So it totally falls in line with what's been going on this past year.
Dude, Trevor Siemian is the truth. Okay,
I guess so, man.
I don't want to hear that noise, bro. But yeah, the Bucs are on bye week, and it was like so in the 1 o'clock games, every team except for the Ravens was in the playoff hunt, and every playoff hunt team lost to a team that was not in the playoff hunt, just for the 1 o'clock games, but still, except for the Ravens, right? But weird week, man. Weird week.
Hey, speaking of the Ravens, in that division, which is so competitive, right?
Yeah.
All four of those teams are, in that hunt. But, after watching that Monday night game, I was like, dude, we have not talked about the Steelers all year, and they've got a good record.
They do.
I don't know off the top of my head where exactly they are in terms of standings, but they've got to be second place, I would imagine. I think they've only lost 3 games.
I'm going to look it up, but I want to say that they're actually last.
How? I think the Browns have lost 4 games. Yeah, they're second place right now. Ravens are at 6-2. Steelers are 5-3.
Right.
And the Bengals very quickly just got themselves into last place in that division, and now they're playing the Pats, right?
Oh yeah.
Or no, they've got the Pats coming up in a couple of weeks, but they're on bye this week. Yeah. But man, I mean, the Browns have got to now do it without Nick Chubb against the Patriots this week. Obviously, not Dearness Johnson, a big fantasy potential stud again. But man, those teams are gonna have to fight it out.
I have to bring this up because it felt like last night my Pat Freiermuth prediction finally came true. Finally came full circle. And the most frustrating part is I'm long gone from any hopes of actually owning him in fantasy. But Pat Freiermuth, man, I think he's arrived.
Hey, he has arrived in full action. Yeah. This guy is truly Heath Miller. I mean, obviously, every commentator has said it about 100 times during whenever they're on TV. But this guy's for real. He's the real deal. Ben Roethlisberger loves him. He's always loved the tight end position. But I was lucky enough to have him in the Catch Fam League. Scored 2 touchdowns. I didn't even come close to winning that game. Chase Brown, you destroyed me. But yeah, man, Pat Freiermuth, he's somebody that you really can start looking at as like a top 10, maybe finish rest of the season.
Sure. My other big takeaway from last night's game, Najee Harris. They were talking about Najee Harris like the entire first half. Did you see any of that? Like they're talking about like his college life and everything. And Najee Harris tweeted today. He said, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, I didn't sleep on no damn floor when I was in college. I slept on my fucking bed. I thought that was so funny. But yeah, they're just like going on and on, like all these like stories about Najee Harris. And it was like, first of all, I needed him to have a bad fantasy game, so I was sweating. And when he came out on that opening drive and scored, I was pretty scared. But I thought that tweet today from Najee Harris is hilarious.
Man, this guy, I can't even imagine the hype around him next year on mock drafts and everything. This is going to be one of those top 3 to 5 backs that get drafted off the board.
Most rushing yards ever by a running back from Alabama. I mean, like,
that's nuts.
That was one guy that heading into this year, I was like, I never draft rookie running backs, but if I was ever going to, it would be this year.
So, we love with him. We were obsessed with him in the preseason.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, hit that like button on the way in, man. Great to already see some of the catch fam in full swing tonight. Appreciate you guys coming out. We got Steven in the building. Guys, give Steven a little round of applause, man. Look at that face. Aren't you guys excited to see that face, man? Week 10 is upon us, man. Let us know what you guys need. I mean, week 9's done with. It's over. Let's throw it in the bag, guys. Let's move along here. And yeah, stoked to be here, guys. So hit that like button, man. If you're new to the channel, hit that sub button down below. And let's get this thing rolling, baby. All right. And I love this first question here. I think this is a great way to continue backpedaling off of last night's game. Think Montgomery will come around, asks KB. I think if you're asking me, he did last night. Like, the first game back from injury, he played very, very well. And for those of you who were in yesterday's afternoon stream, right, this was the big debate. Do we start Montgomery or Khalil Herbert? And I was very surprised that I was not the only person in that predicament. But I didn't really come out with a clear answer. And for some reason, I ended up texting Steven and trusting him. And he recommended David Montgomery. Okay, and that was the right move, man. He got like every single touch in this game. Like, he's healthy, is the big takeaway, right? For those of you who own David Montgomery. But he looked good. I mean, keep in mind, man, like, it depends on scoring format, but at least 9 fantasy points in full PPR. He could have had up to 11. But first game back from a serious injury, right? Against one of the best teams in the league against opposing running backs. So I think he had a great game. Let's official stats on the night here. Let's see here. Okay, rushed 13 times for 63 yards and caught both of his targets for 17 yards. Didn't find the end zone, but I mean, I think he had a good game overall.
Yeah, so I understand that you were kind of back and forth between that first start back. You know what originally made me say, oh, it's Montgomery, is if you watched him enter the game, he was carrying a football. He was locked in. Like, this guy was like, he was dying to be back on the field. And when he came out there, it was like he never left. I mean, Matt Nagy gave him the ball almost every play. And one thing we have seen so far this season with this terrible Bears offense is that they just run the ball a ton. Like, that is an MO of this Matt Nagy offense. But another thing, too, that could really help Montgomery down the road is, you know who also really looked good? Fields.
Yeah.
Fields showed up, man. Actually,
this is my next point.
PFF graded him as like a 90 overall in terms of his performance that week against Pittsburgh Steelers, right? They're a dominant defense, and they were getting all over him in the beginning of that game. But he really rallied back, did a lot with his feet as well, which is something we have been begging the Bears offense to do just for fantasy. But man, I'm starting to really like the opportunity for Montgomery, for guys like Allen Robinson potentially to start making a back half breakout. Mooney's obviously there too. And another thing too, another takeaway from this game and going forward after the Bears get off that bye week is, I don't know if Khalil Herbert is really that necessary for your fantasy teams anymore. He's obviously a high-end handcuff, but I don't know.
Sure. I think he's a fine handcuff if you can hold on to him. But no, I agree that it's time to cut him. And he played great in the absence of David Montgomery, but Montgomery's the guy here. And listen, after the bye week, they get Baltimore in week 11, Detroit in week 12. Phenomenal matchups. And they have a little tough stretch here. They got Arizona and Green Bay. So Arizona, very good, top 6 against the run. Green Bay, number 14, so kind of middle of the pack, but kind of on the better end, right? But then the last 3 weeks of fantasy, they've got Minnesota, number 22 against position, Seattle, number 30 against position, and the New York Giants, number 28 against position. So he is a phenomenal running back to have right now through the fantasy playoffs. And I love the points that you made, man. I mean, Mooney balled out, right? Robinson got a tiny bit involved for those of you guys who drafted him.
Robinson was out there. He was out there,
bro.
Yeah.
Fields played very well. I was very impressed. I don't think that this loss was on Justin Fields. We could talk about the refs, but that's a whole other story. Outside of that, Cole Kmet is a very in full PPR. If you're struggling at the tight end position, he's a player that should be rostered. Jimmy Graham made some plays as well, but Cole Kmet
dropped that touchdown. He dropped that touchdown.
But he did make some plays too. But it was actually quite an entertaining game, and I think one of the other big takeaways is Justin Fields actually played quite well. All right, let's see here. Ronald, what's up, boys? And my first, according to us, you're second, but second is the best. No offense, KB. He was first. Juke, what's up, brother? Good to see you. DJ Vic, what's up, man? What's up, guys? Trade Zeke for Diggs. It depends on your whole roster there. I would personally rather have Zeke, but if I was hurting bad enough at the receiver position, then yeah, it's a fine swap. I mean, listen, I know a lot of you guys really don't like Stephon Diggs right now. He's not a top 12 receiver. He's not a top 15. He's not a top 20. He's a top like 24, 25, depending on scoring format. But he's still consistent, right? He's going to get you 10 points no matter what. So it just depends on the rest of your roster there.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be willing to trade Zeke, who is like a top 5 running back, for a guy like Stephon Diggs, who largely amongst all fantasy owners are super disappointed in the guy. I mean, if you're gonna trade straight up for Diggs, you like need to ask for something else in return, in my opinion, especially with just how much of a premium this running back position is nowadays. I mean, even if you are loaded up at running back, it's like, man, one person goes down, like that's a problem. Because like the waivers on a weekly basis are dry as a bone. And we've just never seen anything like this in the fantasy community, really.
And it's interesting, not to get off topic here, but it's kind of been an advantage for some teams how bad these injuries have been. Mm-hmm. Like, I've been able to cycle through some running backs and get some wins that I should not have gotten over the past couple of weeks, man. I mean, guys like Dearness Johnson, Booker, right? Mm-hmm. Ty Johnson, who I didn't even start, but I mean, just like these random names have been helping me get to fantasy victories. So,
but you've had to be very active in your approach to go out and get those guys, and at the same time, not only active but lucky to clear waivers and snag them. Right, with a guy like Zeke, that is just somebody you know is going to show up for your squad, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, last week that Dallas Cowboys performance against Denver was disgusting, abysmal. I don't understand what happened, but. Sure. Zeke is just a part of an offense that I think everybody would feel is one of the most exciting, one of the most explosive offenses in all of football.
Yeah, they'll bounce back easily. Speaking of running backs, though, in the Broncos-Cowboys game, man, these Broncos running backs are not to mess around with, man.
How do we view them anymore? I know we've had talks about a trade between I have Melvin Gordon, you have Javonte Williams. Gordon is a higher ranked running back right now, but we've always had this promise about Javonte, down the road, but maybe he is seen as more of a dynasty play, right? Because we know now that when this guy gets his shot, like it's a wrap, man. Like this guy is going to dominate. He is going to be a franchise type of running back. And the thing is too, is like you mentioned it before, the backstretch of the schedule here, it's amazing. It's
the
amazing.
Backstretch starts this week. Yeah. Philadelphia, a bye week. The Chargers, the Chiefs, Detroit, Cincinnati, Las Vegas, the Chargers, the Chiefs. Like, we'll know the answer to this question by the end of the season because, listen, Javonte Williams had 17 attempts and 111 rushing yards. He just didn't find the end zone. Mm-hmm. Like, that's his only problem on the season is he's not scoring. He's not getting any scoring opportunities.
It's been Gordon's. It's been Gordon's work in the red zone and everything.
I don't know. I think we view these guys in pretty similar fashion, though.
And it also speaks to a larger point, too, because that wide receiver core is so sexy. But, now we look at it and it's like Vic Fangio, smash mouth, kind of context of a career. He loves defense. He loves gritty football. Do we maybe see him look at that game against Dallas where they ran the ball like 100,000 times on this Dallas Cowboys team, ran for 190 yards? Maybe we just let these two backs carry our squad, right? Yeah. And Jerry Jeudy suffers from that. Cortland Sutton suffers from that. Tim Patrick, who knows? He always ends up finding a way. But I'm starting to lower my expectations of a guy like Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton because I just don't know if I can really expect it on a weekly basis. Like, who's going to be the guy to really emerge from there?
I think Jeudy and Patrick have all the upside because the defensive pressure leans on Cortland Sutton, especially this week against a squad like the Eagles, who are actually pretty good.
They're really good.
Darius Slay is going to line up on Sutton. And why would you not just for the rest of the season lean on these running backs, looking at this strength of schedule against running backs? These backs are going to have some big weeks coming up, guys.
When I watched offenses go up against this Philly team, this Philly team seems to be winning, though, at the point of corners versus receivers based off of like the coverage schemes that they do, right? I don't even know if it's necessarily like a Ramsey approach where you kind of use a guy to lock up somebody. It's like they just do a really good job of keeping the ball in front of them, then coming up and making sure tackles, right? And so that's why they've just been so effective. And it concerns me again with all these receivers coming into it, right? Because this is a very winnable game for the Broncos. Very winnable game for them to carry forward their momentum. So I look for Melvin Gordon. I look for Javonte Williams to really eat in this one.
And I will, on a other side of the football for the Broncos, Pat Surtain's out for a couple of weeks. That's huge.
That's massive.
That really hurts the Broncos defensively. All right. Let's hear it. Juke, how are you guys? We're doing fantastic. How are you, Juke? Geez Louise, yo, what's up, man? I just got back from being sick and watching your streams again. Love the streams. Appreciate those kind words. Geez Louise, and we were both certainly happy to hear that you are back and at it, back from sickness, man. Don't let that sickness strike you down, man. It's time for some fantasy football. All right. Nathan Jenke. Do I trade Henderson and Mike Williams for A.J. Brown? I have Eckler, Swift, Saquon, David Montgomery, running back. I need to improve my wide receivers as I have DJ Moore, Jalen Waddle, Ayuk, and Jettas. I'm not sure who Jettas is.
Jefferson.
But that's what I was thinking. Jefferson.
Yeah.
It's a fair amount of capital to give up for one player.
I'd say too much capital.
I would say if you're gonna do this trade, you need to get like a low end running back out of this. Like probably even if it's the other team's worst running back. Like I think I know a lot of guys are ready to give up on Mike Williams, but he's still had phenomenal games this season, and he can still flip that at any point in the season. Henderson's been phenomenal on the year. So I like the trade for A.J. Brown in terms of improving your receivers, but I would say you should be able to get another player out of this, in my opinion.
Yeah, not too sure I'm that willing to give up a guy like Henderson, despite that running back depth that you do seem to have there, right? But that running back depth is still dependent on guys like Saquon, who not sure we're ever going to really see him back in action fully, and David Montgomery, who is coming off a serious injury. We're both very optimistic about him, but do have injury concerns around him rest of the season. So again, not too sure I'm willing to give up a guy like Henderson for just A.J. Brown. So yeah, that's my only thoughts there. That's a lot of capital.
Here's the other interesting thing is, while I'm someone who leans running back heavy, well, keep in mind Swift's been questionable every week of the season, but like having that running back depth, you can still get through and get some dubs with guys like DJ Moore and Jalen Waddle, and who we're assuming is Justin Jefferson here, but even Ayuk's trending upward as well. But
yeah.
I know DJ Moore's been awful. We just got breaking news before the stream started that Sam Darnold is going to miss a couple of weeks with a spatula injury or something. So PJ Walker gets the start. Who, don't get me wrong, PJ Walker has a relationship, with this team and their head coach. I mean, he understands this offense. It's not an awful fill-in, but it's certainly not a great.
I don't think it hurts that bad. I don't think Sam Darnold being gone. I mean, Sam Darnold has been awful. Right, so I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, exactly. So, and actually, there's some pretty favorable matchups in terms of teams against opposing wide receivers coming up for DJ Moore and the Panthers. So, I think I would lean with Steven here. Like, I know it's difficult, right? Because you can't start those 5 running backs on a weekly basis,
Unfortunately.
So, trying to trade one or two and trying to trade a receiver who you've been frustrated with makes sense, but maybe you should be able to get one more player out of this at least if you're going to initiate the trade, because it is a lot of capital. Don't forget what Henderson and Williams. I mean, Henderson has stayed consistent. I know he had a down game this past week, but the game script was
in that game though.
And the game script was against his favor, right? The Rams were down very early, right? Pick 6 and an interception, turn a touchdown within the first 15, 20, 12 minutes, 10 minutes of that game. So the run game was kind of taken away. Good.
Let me ask you this, John. Just before we move to the next question, it's like, if you could, I guess if he wants to ship off of Mike Williams here, would you feel comfortable with this trade if instead of Henderson, who we both really do like, it was Saquon? Because
I feel pretty good about Saquon.
You do? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think you're biased because you own Saquon and you're just frustrated that he hasn't played in the past couple of weeks, and he was supposed to come back and he had the COVID designation false positive. I think you're taking out your own fantasy anger and on this trade, Stephen.
Not even too sure you can play him the week he potentially is going to come back off a bye week, because that's against Tampa Bay too. So
exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
but I don't hate the idea because Henderson's been extremely consistent now.
Yeah.
Nathan, I would just ask, do you think there's another player on that squad you could snag at the same time, even if it's not a running back, but even another low end wide receiver if that's where you truly need help? So, all right, let's see here. Juke, do you think I need to make any moves to get ready for the playoffs? Brady, CMC, Saquon, Javonte, Michael Carter, Pitman, Bateman, Gallup, and Ayuk. This is not an awful squad by any means. I mean, the receiver is. Oh, and you also have DK. I'm sorry. I actually quite like this team. I'd be interested to know if this is a 10-man league, 12-man league, all that. But this is a pretty good squad. Yeah. Receivers could use improvement, but here's the thing. You're not going to lose Brady, obviously. And you're not – I think 4 healthy running backs at this caliber is what's going to elevate you through and into the playoffs. So I don't think you can give up any of these running backs. DK and Pitman are good enough to get you there, right? They've played phenomenal football. And then Bateman, Gallup, and Ayuk, good enough players to have hanging around if something happens to DK or Pitman. So I actually quite like this team.
Ton of upside with Bateman too. And that's with or without Hollywood Brown going down. I mean, Bateman's just been pretty solid since really coming into this offense and getting healthy.
Let me ask you this question, Steven, as we're already super behind the chat, guys. I do apologize, man. We're gonna get to everyone's questions tonight. Make sure you guys hit that like button while we're chilling, man. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that sub button down below and become part of the Catch fam tonight. But let me ask you this question, Steve. How do you feel about that Christian McCaffrey performance versus the Patriots?
I'm not worried about it, man. I mean, it's obviously not great, but and I was expecting more, but it's his first game back. Definitely wasn't going like 100%. And it's something to monitor, but it's also the Patriots, right? And they did really good at just making this offense look very terrible in general. And again, with him being activated and being activated ahead of time, the Pats had time to really game plan around Christian McCaffrey, which is very hard to do. But if anybody's going to do it, it's Bill Belichick. So I kind of want to see what Christian McCaffrey's doing over the next 1 to 2 weeks, and I wouldn't be too concerned as a fantasy owner.
I'm not concerned either, being a Christian McCaffrey owner. But
You just wanted me to hear. You just wanted me to say it, right?
I was curious because I think other people out there might be concerned, but I think you made all the right points. And this Patriots defense is actually pretty damn good. So
yeah,
and also just the game script is bad. The offense is playing awful, and he finally got those couple receptions at the end of the game that really boosted his fantasy numbers. But all right, Ron the Goat, what's up, Catch fam? What's up, Ron? Tell me what you think of this trade, boys. I received Montgomery. My opponent receives Michael Carter and Eli Mitchell. It depends on your overall depth for me, right? Okay, my running backs would be JT, Dalvin Cook, and Montgomery.
Yeah, I think you won that deal then.
AJ Brown, Deontay, and Scary Terry as my receivers. I think that's a pretty strong team. I agree. And we just talked about Montgomery's remaining schedule. If this man stays healthy, I'm telling you, he's going to have, I would say, at least 4 games on the season left with 18 to 22 points as a floor. Like, he is going to ball out with the amount of touches that we've seen him get, and the matchups that he's got, right?
Yeah,
like he's going to have some fantastic games. He's going to, that game that he got injured where he's putting up over 20 points, he's going to get that pace right back, man. So,
I agree.
I like the depth of Carter and Mitchell on that team, but I think Montgomery presents much more upside, even if he's on the Bears.
They're depth pieces, and they also split a decent amount of their carries with another running back, right? And that's only going to increase splitting carries for Eli Mitchell now with Jeff Wilson coming back. He didn't obviously get really any work in that last game, but Jeff Wilson is a beloved player by Kyle Shanahan. So I definitely like this move by you.
Yeah, I agree. Chase Fulner, let's say everyone is healthy and Rodgers is out for 1 more week. Should I leave Patterson and Terry on the bench if I'm starting Kamara, Henderson, Adams, Debo, AJ Brown?
No. Man, this is probably the only time I will ever say you can bench Adams.
I don't know if I agree.
Dude, Love looked awful. Like, awful, man. Like, that awful. Adams got a ton of targets and got nothing out of it because the targets were horrible.
Full PPR, he still had a decent day. I think the volume is there, and I think that this was a very poor game plan by the Packers. I also think it's a very tough stadium to get your first NFL start. I also think that I listen. I think you can consider benching. I don't know, man. I don't like it.
This is all I'm saying.
I think
right?
that the
This is all I'm
chemistry.
saying. This is all I'm saying.
Okay.
Terry Scary Terry going up against Tampa Bay secondary. That's a decent matchup right there. That over-under is really high. And you also you can flex out Patterson, Kamara, and Henderson. Like, that's nice. That's a nice little trio.
Adams has got Seattle.
I know it's nice, but I'm just a little bit. I'm a little bit hesitant about a guy like him. But I will say this: are you thinking that Rodgers is going to miss? Because I'm not too sure Rodgers is going to miss that game. So then it's not even going to be a question. It's not even going to be a question once that happens.
In my mind, I think I think Rodgers will play. All he has to do is pass COVID protocol by Saturday night. So as long as he gets a negative test by then, he's fine. And he's had more than enough time to do that. So I do think that he'll play. There is a chance that he does not play. But this is a far more favorable. Well, I don't know, man. Listen, you definitely got me and Steven going back and forth here, which is always fun. But you're going to have a good lineup no matter what. Okay. Patterson or Terry are in there, you're good. Debo or Adams are on the bench, you're probably good. Okay. It's interesting because as much as I love Debo Samuel, and like a week ago, I basically told you guys we cannot bench him anymore. This injury looks a little bit real for him, right? He might be actually someone you can consider here. But I like this lineup either way, Chase. I really do. For me, I do think I agree with Steven, though. Kamara, Henderson, and Patterson. And then two of these receivers.
Patterson's a must start this week against Dallas in my mind. Like a must start. Just like he is now every week. But
he had over 110 receiving yards last week.
On like 3 catches. And 3 targets. He's nuts.
And, I mean, I was happy with myself when I did the must start running back video. I said, I do not think Cordero Patterson is going to run well against the Saints. I think he's going to be a good receiving back against the Saints, and that's exactly what happened. So, hey guys,
I don't understand him at all.
I made one call correct last week. That and James Conner. Okay, Ronald, what's up, man? Diggs and Christian Kirk have surprisingly similar stats this year. Yeah, man. I wish I was more vocal about Christian Kirk last week because I liked him last week. But we didn't really get the news on D-Hop or Kyler till Sunday. It was just tough to call, but. Yeah,
Colt McCoy played well too. He got the job done more than got the job done.
Told you guys, Colt McCoy's my boy.
Yeah, he was good for Washington, man.
Ron the Goat. My running backs would be. I'm sorry, we got to that. I apologize. Jerry, what's up, boys? What's up, Jerry?
What is up, Jay?
Here. Ron the Goat. What's up, Jerry? Jerry, my team is looking rough, and I don't have many options. Good to see you at Steven. I always see John here. It gets old, man. It gets old, bro. Ron the Goat, hoping Dalvin Cook is okay. Just saw the news on Sleeper.
Oh, this could be a very good thing for my fantasy team. Let me take a look at this. I have Alexander Madison.
Let's see here. Who can pull it up first, me or Steven?
Probably not me.
I'm getting there. I'm like 2 seconds away. Dalvin Cook. Whoa! Dalvin Cook, a victim of domestic violence and extortion, per Adam Schefter.
What?
There's no. Oh wait.
Wait, a victim?
Oh wait, if he's a victim. Oh, okay. So he's a victim. Okay. The way I was thinking initially, he was the one committing the crimes, but I mean that's awful. That's awful. I don't think it's going to affect fantasy.
Look at how our brains think. Ron's over here saying, just saw the news. Hope he's doing okay. Hope he's all right. And we're like, damn it. What is this going on, man? How is it going to hurt fantasy? And I'm over here like, yes, Alexander Madison. That's just that's the perversion of, when you're that deep into fantasy, man.
Yeah. Shame on me and Steven here. Listen, Vikings play the Chargers this week, man. I think Dalvin Cook has a fantastic day. And, certainly best wishes to him and anything he's going through at the time. But, definitely rebuttal that. I hope everything is okay with Dalvin Cook, unless Steven, I think, is still thinking like, I mean, and he does get injured so often that I think that's just where our minds jump to right away. But
Yeah.
hey, that's awful. That's a shame to hear. All right, let's see here. Jerry, how's everyone doing tonight? My team fell apart in my main league. Ooh, Ron the Goat, doing good. Just got home from work. Gonna make some dinner. Guys, let us know in the chat. What'd you guys have for dinner? Gotta let us know. Derek hit the thumbs up. Appreciate that, Derek. Good to have you out here, my guy. Jerry got banged up while playing basketball, so I'm just going to make some food and lay down. Ooh.
What an athlete. What an athlete Jerry is.
The life of an athlete.
Tell you what, are you a shooter, Jerry, or do you play down low? What's your game? What's your game like, Jerry?
I'm just going to move on from this one. Chosen Rose, I just did a trade. I'm nervous. I traded away Van Jefferson and Antonio Brown for Hunter Renfrow. I'm nervous about Brown coming back later. His ankle seems more weeks off. Yeah. The news I'm reading as of today is that he might not play this weekend, which really pisses me off. I need Antonio Brown so bad. So actually, I don't hate this trade. I don't think that Van Jefferson's offering you much of anything in terms of consistency in any way, right? I mean, he got a ton of targets in that game versus the Titans, and he really did.
He's a good player. He's a good player, man.
Yeah, I don't think he's a bad player.
He could have scored he got a red zone target as well. That it was a little bit overthrown. He jumped a little early, but easily could have scored a touchdown there. I like him.
I don't dislike him, but I think right now the most consistent player out of these three guys is Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah.
So I don't hate the trade. I wouldn't be too nervous. The player that offers the most upside out of these three guys is still Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm.
But this ankle injury does look a tad bit serious. So I don't hate this. Derek saying you gave up too much for Renfrow. I mean, if you're in a win now situation, then you got to make some moves to win now. So I don't hate this. You know,
I'll tell you, when I first read it, I thought it said Justin Jefferson and him, and I was like, "Whoa, that's a lot of people to be giving up for Hunter Renfrow."
That would be a lot of capital, but I can see an argument either way for this, but I don't think it's the worst trade that we've gone over on the season by any means.
Yeah, and with everything going on in Las Vegas, I mean, Hunter Renfrow is kind of one of the last remaining pieces to go out and catch that ball, right? And obviously they add in Deshaun Jackson, but I don't think either of us really think that's going to be too much of a fantasy impact, right? So Hunter Renfrow is definitely going to continue to be integral for this offense on a weekly basis.
Trimsy, should I trade for Patterson and Harris? Yeah.
Oh, 100B.
You can pull it off, not give up too much. Why not? Derek says yes. Geez Louise, trade Jamar Chase and DeAndre Swift for Justin Jefferson and Zeke. Here's the way I look at this. This is pretty even, actually, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a slight upgrade at running back and a slight downgrade at wide receiver. I think Jamar Chase is going to be 100% fine on the season, guys. I really do.
Yeah.
But Jefferson, while we both love Justin Jefferson, is not too crazy different in terms of value. Neither are Swift in comparison to Zeke. So I would look at which of these offenses involved do you have higher conviction in, and then I would pull the trigger based on that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would also say, I mean, you would think, I mean, if you look at statistically year over year, you would think if the one player would regress over another, it's Jamar Chase. And obviously he has just proven that he's dominant as, any receiver in the game. But I mean, Jamar Chase is doing things that have never been done before as a rookie receiver. So if anything, I would see positive regression for Justin Jefferson over the back half and, downward regression for a guy like Jamar Chase.
Sure. I can agree with that too. We're on the goat asking, is it PPR? If it's PPR, give me Swift. Derek says keep Chase and Swift. It's
going to be really hard for people to give up a guy like Jamar Chase, right? It's going to be really tough. He's just been so good and so fun for all fantasy viewers.
I did want to bring this up too. After this past week, Tyrique Hill is still wide receiver 2 on the year.
How?
Yeah.
How?
He's been, we hear a lot of you guys wanting to get off of Tyrique Hill and even Patrick Mahomes. I don't think that it's the right move right now. I
I
think you can
think
sell
with
them. Go ahead.
I think with Mahomes, you can definitely explore your options, but you better get a lot back,
Yeah.
right? But I think Mahomes, it's pretty late into the season, and dude, that game against Green Bay was disgusting. Like they
It
looked
was.
awful,
They
like
did.
awful. I'm not too convinced that this is going to change for the rest of the year. I just some ingredient has been pulled out of their recipe. It's not looking good right now.
We'll see. We'll see. I was surprised to see that Hill's still wide receiver too. Okay.
Yeah.
Trimsy, is it a good trade if I trade away Mixon, Booker, Myers, and Moss for Patterson and Harris?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't hate this, but you got to make sure Harris is healthy. Listen, you're losing Mixon, you're replacing him with Patterson. That's fine. Okay, losing Booker, Myers, and Moss really doesn't lose you any value, and you gain Harris. So I guess this is a good trade. But Harris is not currently healthy. All right.
When I'm
Let's see.
first reading this, I'm thinking Najee, right? But then obviously Damian Harris makes a little bit more sense too. And so,
Oh, I think it is Najee Harris. Yeah, because you asked earlier, Trimsy.
because if
Okay.
it's Najee and Patterson, like, there's no question.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah. There's
you're
no
giving
question
up
in my mind.
half of those guys are backups. So yeah.
Yeah. If it is Najee Harris, no question in my mind. Yeah. You do that right away. All right, let's see. Great convos going here. Look at the catch fam supporting each other tonight, baby.
So
All right,
there.
chosen Rose Renfro is now wide receiver 1, so might do well. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's see here. Ronald says Greg the leg just got COVID. No way.
Oh wow.
No way. Is he in the kicker video? Sneak peek?
No.
Okay.
No, he was not. And that was that insight. I knew that was gonna happen.
Matt, what's up, guys? Is Eckler for Tyrique fair? I would say yeah. I would. I don't see why not. No one we haven't done in a while. Check that out. Chat's on the screen, baby. Yeah, I would say this is a fair trade. Yeah. All right, G's Louise, start Lockett, AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, pick 2 also. Gerald Henderson, James Conner, Zeke, flex could be Beasley or Lenny. Okay. For me, I'm saying AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, then Henderson, Conner, and Zeke. If Zeke doesn't play, then Lockett. Russell Wilson's back this week, so
Connor's gonna smash this week.
Connor's a must start, guys. He's scored.
Connor's a smash.
I'm just air quoting this off the top of my head, but I think he's scored more touchdowns than any running backs over like the past 8 weeks, like in the entire league.
After what we, watched on Thursday with JT going nuts, we were like, there's no way anybody outdoes him, right? And Connor comes out here.
And Nick Chubb was close.
Yeah. You watch that game, though, and it's like every damn play, Colt McCoy was just doing these screens to Connor. And it was like this defense just couldn't figure that out. Like, it was absurd. But, dude, James Conner is a dog, man. He's a dog.
Hold on. We're looking this up. Hold on. I'm pulling it up. I got to know. Derrick Henry and James Conner are tied for the most rushing touchdowns by a running back this season with 10. The next running back is Jonathan Taylor with 8. Then Najee and Mixon have 7. Oh no, I'm wrong. Joe Mixon and Damian Harris have 7. Nick Chubb has 6. Elliott, Eckler, Hunt, Jacobs, Henderson, Robinson have 5. So Conner is up there, guys. Like, he's tied with Derrick Henry, who, don't get me wrong, is injured. He's a game ahead of Henry, if I'm not mistaken. But still, he's above every other back in the league except Derrick Henry.
If I were to place a bet on who's going to lead the league in rushing touchdowns, it's going to be James Conner. And he is excelling at exactly what they brought him in to do, which is that goal line work. It was literally for those rushing touchdowns. That's what they brought him in for. And he's dominating at that.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. He has, not to get too off topic here, but Derrick Henry at this point in the season before going down had 937 rushing yards. off 219 attempts. James Conner is 115 attempts for 454 rushing yards. So, he's done it on a lot less work too. Anyways, okay. Yeah, James Conner must start at this point, guys. All right, Lance, should I trade Fournette and Diggs for CD and Henderson? I would say yes.
See, Derek down below says keep Fournette and Diggs. I think this is one of those questions that you're going to get a lot of support for both sides. You've got guys that are super popular like CD, and you also got Diggs who's super popular. But I will say this, man, Fournette has been cooking this year, cooking with gas, and Henderson has too. I think this is pretty even, but man, I don't know. Part of me really wants to say I would stay here with Fournette and Diggs unless you're super convicted on CD or Henderson.
It's interesting because both these receivers, number one guys on their respective teams, in my opinion, but both these teams are so loaded at the position that they don't always have these crazy high ceilings, right? And then when we're looking at Fournette and Henderson, both running backs, kind of similar style on offenses that are absolutely loaded. And they just get a lot of goal line work. These are two very even players. So I think you look to the matchups coming up and you look to those respective offenses. Who do you think performs better? I mean, it's kind of tough to argue between the Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? Although the Rams just had their worst performance of the season, but it's a pretty fair swap overall. I'm leaning CD and Henderson at this point, but I can definitely see the argument for Fournette and Diggs as well.
I believe also, and I don't know how much this will be a direct impact to what you decide to do, but I believe Fournette and Diggs will have no bye week rest of the season, and Henderson will definitely have a bye week because they have not had theirs yet. And I'm not too sure about the Cowboys, but that should go into making your decision because if you lose a guy like Henderson, who's going to be like an RB1 or 2 for your team, that's very impactful on your week and could potentially put you in a spot to lose. So definitely something to consider.
Juke, Fearmouth value rest of season. We got into this a little bit at the beginning of the
stream. The ceiling, guys.
Go back, guys. I'm telling you, go back and find our top 24 tight end rankings on the season. Okay, I got Fearmouth in there. Okay, before the season started. Okay, I was really high at the time. I just called him Pat F. I was too scared to try and pronounce his name, and I'm really happy to see this relationship develop with Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, I think he finishes as a top 12 tight end on the year pretty easily, but I wouldn't go too crazy with the expectations. Now, looking at the tight ends that have emerged over the past couple of weeks, he's easily the best. Like waiver wire pickup since we had that run early in the season where maybe Mike Gesicki was dropped, Dalton Schultz showed up, and Dawson Knox showed up. Since all of that has happened, he's easily been the best tight end to come out of the waiver wire on the season. But keep in mind, if he does not score those touchdowns, right, he does not have a very valuable fantasy night. Okay, he is. Don't get me wrong. You could literally argue almost every tight end in the league outside of like Waller and Kelsey is tight end or touchdown dependent. But at the same time, just keep that in mind, right? If he doesn't find the end zone, his value does diminish quite a bit, but he's still worth starting on a weekly basis.
Yeah, and I do think that with the Steelers offense, they do love the tight end position in the red zone. So I think that touchdown stat is more sticky than it would be in a different offense. And also, I do think it carries a lot of weight that Ben Roethlisberger loves him, like is obsessed with Pat F. So I do like that, and I also think he's just continuing to become one of their top targets. It's either Najee, it's Deandre, or it seems to now be Pat F as that other option there. Guys like Chase Claypool just aren't really cutting it anymore.
Oh, Chase Claypool's looking bad, dude.
Yeah, he is.
Looking bad. Ronald, he's fine. He was the victim. Ron, he was the victim. Matt Dalvin is fine. Ron the GOAT, not the abuser. Ronald, he was the victim. Okay. Thank you, guys. Don't worry, guys. It's what Fantasy does. My first thoughts were, is he going to play? Yeah, I'm sorry. We did not mean to be insensitive. We
sounded very bad right there.
We jumped to conclusions there. So shout out Dalvin Cook. Hope all is well on your side.
Hey, it's waiver day, guys. We got a lot of waivers to make here.
That's true. Juke, I had the classic McDonald's, dude. I haven't had McDonald's in a minute, but like, It sounds pretty good right now. I've been craving like a fast food burger. I haven't had one in a while, believe it or not, but I've been kind of craving one.
Ooh, I had a cheeseburger at 11 o'clock a.m. this morning. Just a burger with some cheese on top, no bun.
I want to see how long that will go. All right, Jerry, I'm an attacking playmaker, so I get banged up whenever I drive in.
Oh, Jerry.
Dude, we should have a catch fam meetup where we play basketball. And
He's basically Derrick Rose out there, man, just attacking the rim.
You know, I'm easily the worst person in this live stream at basketball. There's no question about it.
Yeah, not close.
Ewig, what's going on? What's up, Ewig? Good to see you, man. Mr. Curly Wolf, what's up, man? Been a sec, Mangs, what's up? What's up, bro? Any advice on DJ Moore and Saquon Barkley? Let's see. Our thoughts. Thank you. Great to see you, boys. Great to see you as well, man. DJ Moore's got some good matchups coming up. I think he has the opportunity to bounce back, but we do have to tamper some expectations there. He's gone from a wide receiver 1 on the season down to wide receiver 2, arguably a flex player on the season. But that has more to do not with his skill, but with how bad the Panthers have performed from an offensive standpoint and with how bad Sam Darnold specifically has performed. I'm confident Saquon Barkley is going to get this year turned around and come back healthy. Is it going to be right away off the bye week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Probably not, but I do think that he will do plenty Saquon Barkley things for the rest of the season. So I'm not too entirely concerned about Barkley. I do want to pull up DJ Moore's stats. He's still wide receiver 13 on the year. Okay. So tougher matchup this week versus Arizona, but they're right in the middle, right? Right around the middle at 18, right? Then he gets Washington and Miami, respectively, 31 and 30 against the position. Then he's got a back and forth stretch. He's got Atlanta. They're 19th. It's a good matchup. He's got Buffalo. You don't even probably want to start him against Buffalo, but then Tampa Bay and New Orleans to end the fantasy season. So DJ Moore's got plenty of good matchups coming up, and I think we'll get a good read on him in the coming weeks. But yeah, he went from a player that might score 30 points in a game to he might get you 8 on a good week.
Yeah, and dude, with how bad this Panthers offense has looked, there's a lot in me that says that they're going to improve. They're going to get better because it did all seem to really just start tanking downhill once CMC went out. And then they come back and CMC's limited and they're playing the Patriots as a horrible matchup. So I don't know, man. If this Panthers offense gets something together, starts pulling it together, I think DJ Moore is right back to where he was. I mean, like you said, he's only at 13. Like, that's still really good, right?
Sure.
But yeah, obviously temper that expectations. He's not the guy that at first, DJ Moore was like my first love. Like I was trading anything in the toolkit to go get that guy because I just loved him so much. But yeah, I've tempered expectations a bit.
Let's see here. Benny J is Brandon Cooks Jr. That's a good comparison. Matt, going off my Eckler and Tyrique trade question, should I ask for another low-tier running back as well? What side would you take, Eckler or Tyrique? I don't think it hurts to throw him in there with the way Eckler's performed on the season, but as he just went over, and on average, right, it depends on your league-specific scoring formats, but Tyreek Hill is wide receiver 2 or 3 on the season, so it's kind of hard to make that request when Tyreek still statistically is so up there, right? But I do think, yes, it's not a bad idea to ask for another running back. It depends on the overall roster, but just me being a running back heavy guy, I'm probably going to say Eckler here. I mean, I'm winning fantasy games right now with Russell Gage, Antonio Brown, Randall Cobb, Tim Patrick. Like, running backs have more value in my eyes. Now, am I winning in great fashion? No, I'm scalping out wins, and I'm getting pretty lucky, I have to admit. But I still would argue that running backs have the value, especially with how many injuries we've seen on the past year.
Yeah, I will note though. You watched that Chargers game. I even had a couple of people text me during that game, just knowing that I own Austin Eckler. He doesn't look quite the same. Something seems to be kind of going on with him. Obviously, he's had this hip injury, but he just doesn't look as electric as he was before the injury. Obviously, did not perform well in that game where I thought he was going to really light it up. So I'm a little sketch about a guy like Eckler, but obviously still is going to be a top running back for you.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point, right? If you can get a lower end running back 1 or 2 that you're confident in, and Tyreek Hill, there's probably enough overall upside here to make the swing for Tyreek Hill, right? I don't have anything bad to say about Tyreek Hill. So naturally, I want to say Eckler, but I think if you can get the right value here, it's worth the trade. YT Prodigy, what's up, man? Do you guys think Stephon Diggs is going to be okay as a number 1 wide receiver still, considering all the weapons the Bills have? Yes, but you're pointing out the exact problem of why he hasn't seen these crazy high ceilings that we got used to last year, right? The Bills have effectively evolved into a team that utilizes everyone on the field, right? And that's what hurts Stephon Diggs, okay? He's doing fine with what's been given to him on the season, but Cole Beasley is getting a lot of targets. Emmanuel Sanders is getting a lot of targets. Dawson Knox, when healthy, is getting targets. Sweeney is getting targets in his absence. Zach Moss, who's been trending quite downward, has been involved on the season, though. So it's just tough. Even Gabriel Davis has been sprinkled in there. And then Josh Allen makes a lot of plays with his feet. So it's just tough, right? I think that Diggs is fine, but I just think that our expectations really the highest ceiling that we're going to be looking for is 18 points on a good week. Outside of that, it's closer to 12. All right, let's see here. Ronald, I like chats on screen, but I also can't spell. There you go. There you go, Ron. Ron the GOAT. Is James Conner worth picking up with Edmunds hurt? James Conner is worth picking up if Chase Edmunds starts injecting steroids tonight into every vein in his body. It does not matter. James Conner is absolutely worth picking up regardless of the health of Chase Edmunds. All right, let's see here. Trimsy, Wentz or Russell Wilson as QB1? It's a great question. I was just looking, and Carson Wentz is QB10 on the year, which is
just like that, baby. Carson Wentz is right back in the mix, and he might not be in the mix for an actual team, but fantasy, he's got all the tools to be there.
It's crazy. This is a great question, man. Let's take a look-see here, okay? Let me look at the stats here. Well, actually, here we go. Okay. So, Russell Wilson's got Green Bay. It's a pretty good matchup overall. But Carson Wentz has got Jacksonville, and we can't really read into last week's performance whatsoever, right? We can't make that part of the equation at all, right? So Jacksonville's not going to repeat that performance on the season. I'd be highly, highly surprised, right? But so overall,
John, I got to say, I'm kind of leaning Carson Wentz here.
That's what I'm going with, yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaning Carson Wentz. This is the first game. If Russell Wilson does come back, it's his first game back, right? And Green Bay's defense has been a lot more solid than maybe people are giving recognition to. Obviously the Chiefs have been sluggish, but dude, the Packers should have won that game. I mean, they controlled the Chiefs offense. The Packers played very well against them. And Russell Wilson's come back with a hand injury, right? That obviously is not the most ideal situation. But then you look at Carson Wentz. Obviously, he's got a beautiful matchup against Jacksonville. Yeah, that game is not really repeatable. I just think the Buffalo Bills are really stuck in the mud right now. And I think that this is a game that could be higher scoring than people think, right? I do think the Colts have a great opportunity to make some noise defensively against this Jags team, but their secondary has gotten lit up a little bit, right? And I think maybe Trevor Lawrence keeps this thing competitive, keeps it closer, and that relies on Carson Wentz to do more than just hand the ball off to JT.
Sure. No, I agree with you. And I think I'm leaning Carson Wentz here as well. Just give Wilson a week to kind of get back into the swing of things, just in case. I mean, he is Russell Wilson, don't get me wrong. But I still like...
He is Russell Wilson, don't get me wrong. But you know what that means too, right? He can totally skunk you and give you 5 points. So it's scary. It's scary.
Fair enough. All right, geez Louise. So for sure you're starting Connor. What would you rank him this week among running backs? Yeah. Listen, he's got Carolina. It's not a good matchup. I get that part. But the Cardinals are good, man. We've kind of been sleeping on them. They only lost one game on the season, or is it 2 now?
It's just 1.
Yeah, it's still just one. That's what I was thinking.
Don't make me say it, but is Cliff proving us wrong?
Hey,
Don't
did
make me
you
say it.
see? Did you see Cliff like talking some smack during the game?
Yeah,
Who went up to him and got in his face?
Norman.
Josh
I think it
Norman.
was
Yeah, yeah,
Norman.
it was Norman.
Yeah. How is
Uh,
Norman still around, man? Still making headlines. I don't
hey,
understand this guy.
he's played okay for the Niners actually on the season, but
Nah.
he's also made some big mistakes as well.
Yeah.
So basically, the story of his career. But I liked that little fire we saw out of Cliff. You know, Josh Norman getting his face, and Cliff was like, "All right, let's go." I like that, man. I like that. But listen, it's a bad matchup. Don't get me wrong, but just due to overall volume, right? I still like this. I still like James Conner. The thing with James Conner is if the Cardinals can reach the red zone, he has a shot to score every single time they do. And it seems like even with Colt McCoy and no DeAndre Hopkins, they can find the end zone. And the Niners have been okay defensively. They haven't been great, but they've been good enough. And they ran down the field on the
Yeah.
Niners. So Panthers are a much better defense, don't get me wrong. But still, due to volume and due to the red zone carries, yes, James Conner.
Yeah.
I would rank him in the top 10 on the week for sure.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
All right, Brock. Sit one in full PPR. Deontay, Debo, Scary Terry, or Godwin. Brady's my quarterback. Okay.
Well, I love that Godwin Brady combo. And with AB out, I think Godwin's got to be in there. He has been a target hog for this team ever since AB's out. And so that's why I love him being on my team. And that's why I love that AB is out. But I think you got to roll with him. And I don't know, man. Part of me is just leaning Terry here.
Yeah.
Because of that matchup.
Deontay or Debo. Those are the two where I'm a little torn on.
Bro, Deontay does have a very awesome matchup, though, going against Detroit. A very awesome matchup.
Disappointed this past week.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this, though. Watching that game, it's just kind of ridiculous how good Deontay is at catching the football. Like, he was making some catches when he did get targets. Like, they were super contested. And it's just like, this guy is a machine at catching the football. But I don't know. If this is a full PPR, I would lean Deontay over a guy like McLaurin. But McLaurin does have a good matchup here going against that Tampa Bay secondary. He should be able to get open, kind of find some holes in the secondary, and just kind of sit for a guy like Taylor Heineke to pick it apart. But there's also a world where this game gets out of hand really quickly because this Washington football team is pretty bad.
Sure. This is really tough. This is tough. Why am I down on Debo this week?
Well, obviously Ayuk is going to become more of this offense, right? More integral to this offense. Also, maybe the Niners lean on the run a little bit more. That's been pretty effective against the Rams so far this season. But also you got Jalen Ramsey, probably going to try to take away a guy like Debo, who over the season has been like the 1, 2, 3, 4 read for this 49ers team. So if it was smart, I think that they would do that. I mean, hey, last week, what did we say? We said, you would think A.J. Brown's going to be dominating, but with Derrick Henry out, what are the Rams going to probably do? They're just going to probably put Jalen on AJB and just shut him out. And that's what he did. AJB didn't have a good fantasy game. So I think this is probably going to happen again because it's a very similar situation. But yeah, I say Godwin, and I would lean Deontay or McLaurin there.
I think I agree. With you. All right. Let's see here. Josh Olson. Should I trade Chubb and Pitman or Chubb and Diggs for Jonathan Taylor? Ooh. Is it crazy? I want to say Chubb and Diggs here.
It is crazy, but it's not necessarily a bad take. That's what's crazy about it because coming into the season, you got Pitman in like the 11th or 12th round. You had to grab Diggs in like the 3rd. So yeah, that's pretty nuts. But I do think we could start maybe exploring this trade of a Chubb guy. It sucks because he just showed you how good he was. But
got some good matchups coming up.
That is a lot of value to give up for a guy like JT, who's better than Chubb, but still right in that range, right? Because these are both RB1s for the rest of the season in my mind. So do you have any hesitancy about that part there? Because that is a lot of capital, whether it's Pitman or it is Diggs.
I mean, I view Chubb and Taylor in pretty similar fashion, to be
Yeah.
honest. So it is a lot of capital, Josh. It depends on how deep your wide receivers are. If you like Jonathan Taylor more than Chubb, I can't really blame you, but I love both of these backs right now. If your wide receiver depth is deep enough to where you don't need to start Pitman or Diggs on a weekly basis, then you can definitely consider this. If not, I think I agree with Steven. It's a lot of capital to give up. I mean, Nick Chubb's only going to miss a week. There's actually a possibility that he plays this week. Okay. I mean, he's not ruled out just because he's on the COVID list. As long as he can get 2 negative tests within 48 hours before kickoff, then he's good to go. So Chubb's got an extremely favorable matchup coming up. So I think I agree with Steven, man. It depends on the overall roster, and it depends how deep your wide receivers are overall. All right, let's see here. Emmy, okay. Pick 2 wide receivers in a flex. Robert Woods, Terry McLaurin, Bateman, Brandon Ayuk, Darrell Williams, Alex Collins, and Pat Freiermuth. For me, looking at this list, it's Woods and McLaurin for sure. And then I'm leaning between Ayuk and Freiermuth, honestly.
So you got Robert Woods in there for sure.
Yeah.
You got no interest in maybe moving a guy like Bateman against Miami?
No.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't hate the start, but I think that McLaurin and Woods are much, much safer.
Okay. I mean, McLaurin for sure.
I love this matchup this week for the Baltimore Ravens, but Bateman kind of still, he hasn't proven it to me, man. The volume's there. He's getting 6 to 8 targets a game.
I think this is going to be the week he falls into the end zone. I really
got to
do.
find the end zone before I really
it's gonna
recommend him over a guy like Scary Terry or Bobby Trees, right? But listen, I think that's fair, okay? If we're going to recommend Ayuk here, I think it's fair enough to recommend Bateman as well. I view them actually a relatively similar place in there at this point in the season. So I like the upside with Freiermuth as well, but he's got the lowest floor probably out of all those guys. So
I will say there is one guy on this list. I'm not actually too excited about either of these running backs, but I'm scared about Alex Collins here. Apparently, Chris Carson is going to start against Green Bay. Yeah. That means Collins is basically cuttable. But I would still wait, right? I wouldn't cut him yet. That's not exactly what I'm saying. But Collins at that point would be delegated to splitting carries with Homer and Penny, and I just don't see too much of an upside there. But yeah, so that's a little scary and something you definitely need to monitor. And because if Chris Carson comes back, man, he's a good running back.
Absolutely. All right, let's see here. Madden saying Travis Kelce, Brandon Ayuk, and Damian Harris for CMC and Pitts. My gut's telling me yes, do this trade.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Kelsey's still the guy. Like, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head, he's still tight end 1 on the season by like a long shot. But Pitts is good enough to replace that value. And the value of Christian McCaffrey over Ayuk and CMC Brandon Ayuk and Damian Harris, is it's no question. Man. So, yeah.
And I'm very high on Damian Harris rest of the season. I mean, you just brought up the fact that he's one of those top rushing touchdown leaders. Yeah. And that's just because the Pats are running the ball with extreme efficiency. But he's banged up. He's been banged up numerous times this season already. The biggest question mark about that, actually has nothing to do with the swap of Pitts for Kelce and has a lot to do with CMC. Because if you're trading a lot of that capital right there, like a guy like Kelce, a guy like Ayuk and Harris, for a guy like CMC, I mean, man, that injury he has is one of the higher re-injury risk type of things to have with that hammy. So that's the biggest thing. Just be ready for that. But if you can get CMC healthy, lights out, man. Lights out.
Don't put your bad juju on.
Hey, I'm just bringing my Dr. Cap on right now.
Don't bring that bad juju.
As a guy who has suffered a lot of hamstring injuries in my life, I'm just sensitive to it.
Fair enough. Jerry, as a Connor owner in the Catch League, I like hearing all the Connor talk. There you go. Yeah, Jerry, we gotta make sure Jerry gets an L.
Yeah, Jerry's a beast in that, man.
He's killing that league. Ronald, I take Henderson and CD. Fair enough. Steven, Jefferson or Patrick drop Sanders. Jefferson LAR or Patrick drop Sanders.
I think just a Van Jefferson.
Okay, for me, I would drop Van Jefferson. over.
You really hate Van Jefferson, man.
I do. Yeah.
You really hate him.
Yeah. And I really like Emmanuel Sanders, which everyone gives me crap for. But hey, it's just my personal opinion, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's just your personal opinion. It's your personal take, huh? I like Van Jefferson. I mean, are you willing to start Patrick this week against Philly? I mean, I guess you can play him, but Manuel Sanders, yeah, I mean, he has really kind of disappointed you these past couple of weeks. But this whole Bills team has looked really disappointing as well. And I'm starting to think that this Bills offense just might be losing its touch. Obviously, there was a ton of buzz about that and all the pre-Sunday Night Football talk shows and everything. They were saying, man, maybe this Bills team just has really kind of lost its rhythm in terms of offensively. I mean, Josh Allen has definitely lost his MVP buzz, that's for sure.
They said that week 1 as well.
I'm just saying, man, 2 weeks where they should have dominated and they didn't step up to the plate.
Can you argue the same for the Rams?
I'm not sure I'm willing to take them. That's for sure. I mean, if we're getting to a larger conversation about like Super Bowl predictions, I don't think I can take either of those teams right now.
I mean, they didn't play great against Detroit.
They have literally lost to hard teams. That's like been their MO. Like that's sketch for me.
So I would drop Van Jefferson and not Sanders, and I would get Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick needs to be rostered in every fantasy.
Yeah, he does. He does.
I'm so tired of putting Tim Patrick on the waiver wire list every Monday, guys. He deserves to be rostered. All right, Akshay, what's going on? Rate my team. QB, Brady, running backs Patterson and Carter, Gaskin, wide receiver Tyrique, Bateman, Emmanuel Sanders, Sutton, Julio, tight end is Waller, Saints defense, and Greg Joseph. I like this squad.
I love Greg Joseph. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's a solid B. Little bit weak at running back in terms of depth and wide receivers. If Emmanuel Sanders is having a down day like he has recently, or if Tyreek Hill is a down day, then your team's suffering. But it's still a strong team for sure. It's definitely a solid B in my eyes.
Yeah, and I would definitely take a look at the defense video. You looks like you have the Saints there. They were a good streaming option. You thought, coming into that game against the New Orleans Saints, but now they're going up against the Tennessee Titans. Not sure I'm super excited about that matchup. The Tennessee Titans have been just rolling through every single team. But Greg Joseph does make the must-start kicker list. And I'll say you do have a good team. You have good pieces, right? Some of those depth guys just need to step up. I will say Michael Carter has probably been a great thing for your team because he's showing you RB2 type of caliber value, and that's critical for your squad right there with Gaskin really disappointing.
Sure. Mr. Matt J. Kim, who would you flex? Williams, DJ Moore, or AJ Dillon?
AJ Dillon's been getting used so much, and he's so good. He's like so good. He's such a good player, but he's just not scoring touchdowns. You told me before this game, this week, don't start AJ Dillon. I'm glad I listened to you, or I'm glad I didn't have Wi-Fi so I can make that change. Maybe I should say that. But yeah, man, I think it's got to be between Mike Williams and DJ Moore, and I would lean Mike Williams because that matchup against Minnesota gonna probably be the highest scoring game that we have this week. And I love the juicy matchup. The Vikings are one of the worst against the receiver position.
I agree. I agree with that statement. All right, let's see here. Ron the Goat. The Muth cannot be contained.
He can't. He can't be stopped.
Richard Glass, gentlemen. What is up, Richard Glass? We gotta give a shout out here. There we go on the screen, gentlemen.
Gentlemen.
All right. Ron the Goat says, Richard, good day, sir. There you go. J Win 324. Eli Mitchell for Waddle. I don't mind that trade. I mean, I would probably lean having Eli Mitchell right now, as the Niners are acting like they are going to utilize RB1 on the season, which could change tomorrow. But if you're hurting at receiver, you have good RB depth. I don't mind this trade. No.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see here. YT Prodigy, would you take Aaron Jones or DeAndre Swift for the rest of the season? For me, it's Aaron Jones, but these guys, if I'm not mistaken, are right next to each other in terms of rankings on the season. But I would just take the Packers over the Lions.
Yeah.
Richard just got home with a Sonic burger and some tots. Just heard on the radio Kamara may not play this week. Ooh.
Well, Mark Ingram is a snag then.
We're looking. I gotta look it up now.
I gotta look that up too.
Let's see. You can do it first.
So, man, that's pretty nuts.
That's huge. I mean, that makes Mark Ingram a must. I mean, Tennessee's been great against tight ends.
Wow.
Okay, I don't see anything on my first source here.
Alvin Kamara injury. Saints host multiple running backs Tuesday with lead running back potentially sidelined.
Yep, I see that too. Wow, that's big. Yo,
Titans are about to come out here and get another win, man. Holy smokes.
I got to ask you a personal question.
That makes the Titans defense, guys, even much more of a smash play opportunity here against that Saints offense. Without Alvin Kamara, this Saints offense is going to be just a cluster. Yeah, you know how I was going to finish that, but that's going to be rough, dude.
Yeah.
Jeez. I feel bad for Trevor Siemian. I feel bad for him.
Who's your number one waiver priority this week, Stephen?
I honestly, let me just say this, John. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so screwed right now.
Yeah, your team sucks. He dropped out of the top 4.
Yeah. And did you see I accidentally dropped Michael Gallup?
Yeah, I was wondering why you did that.
Did you put in a bid?
No.
Okay.
I only have bids in for more running backs. I think.
I figured. Are you going after Dearness Johnson? Just tell me, dude. Tell me.
I'm not. I thought about it, but I don't think I am. Because I already figured that everyone below me is going to. I don't love the matchup, A, and B, there's still a chance. There's still a chance that Nick Chubb plays. Okay, he's not ruled out. So if he was floating around,
Jordan Howard. I know you love Jordan Howard. You have guys. John has a poster of Jordan Howard above his bed.
Hey, I wasn't wrong though.
Every day, you were right. That's what I'm saying.
If I had kept him and played him, he would have had more points than I think any running back I played this past week.
He balled out again. Yeah. And Nick Sirianni came out and said that he's just got to be used regardless if Miles Sanders is even back. So
he's the number one guy, but it's a bad matchup this week.
Yeah, horrible.
And I have also figured, I mean, I'm playing the worst team in the league who I'm actually scared of losing to, but also I have a strong feeling he's got a need for running back. I have a strong feeling that's his top waiver priority on the week. So I'm like, is it even worth it? I don't know. But I will say, after this week, the Eagles have some good matchups.
Can you tell me what your waiver bid is?
I don't want to.
Is it a defense?
Yeah, it's Tennessee.
I'm going to be so ticked off if I lose a defense again. What is it? It's Tennessee?
Yes.
I hate you, dude.
Dude, you're ahead of me.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can make that play or not. This is the frustration of competition at the waiver spot.
Just being honest, it makes more sense for you to hold on to the Rams and go skill position.
Screw you. No, it doesn't. The Rams
suck
over these past. The Rams
dude, your skill positions suck.
Much. You don't talk trash about my skill positions.
Your bench, dude. My bench is loaded. I have players that I can't start on a weekly basis, and I can lose because of it.
So you don't like Rashad Bateman and all my handcuffs I have? I will say I have way too many handcuffs.
I have handcuffs performing. You have handcuffs not performing. That's the difference between our squads right now.
Okay. Let's move on. You suck. I'm the best.
You have like 300 more points scored on the season than me.
Yeah,
I'm still better than you.
You won games where you score like 80 points, right? This is ridiculous.
A dub is a dub, baby. Number 4 in the league.
Okay.
Or am I 3? I'm number 3 in the league, baby. All right, enough about our. Okay, there you guys go. There's some good banter. All right, Ewick, did you all watch the Bears game last night? All I'm saying is there were some biased refs in that game. Yeah, I think I definitely watched. I think Steven did as well. There are some awful calls, man. Like, even if you take away the taunting penalty at the end of the game, right? There are just bad calls the whole game on both sides, but mainly on the Bears.
A lot of people were talking about it being potentially rigged.
That was definitely the best example of a more than likely potentially rigged game I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. I will say this though. That taunting thing, I would not be surprised if it's taken out of the NFL like in a year, because I've never seen a call more disliked in my life. Like, imagine if this happens in the Super Bowl. Like, do they do that in the Super Bowl? Like, what if like somebody comes up to Tom Brady and goes like, "You suck"? Like, are they gonna be like 15 yards? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, come on.
Yeah. Oh, I did not like that call. Who was that player, by the way? I really like that guy.
It's Cassius Marsh.
He's fresh, dude. He's
Yeah,
like,
he just got picked up off the practice squad, and,
yeah.
and then he has that happen to him. I feel so bad. He's probably gonna get sent back to the practice squad.
Plus, like, yeah, you imagine that storyline. Like, you just get promoted from the practice squad, you make the play of the game, you basically do like a normal NFL celebration, then you turn around, you accidentally have actually not even accidentally run into a ref. You have a ref nudge into you, and that's the thing, right? On the football field, right? Guys like run into each other on accident all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like on a consistent basis. There's a lot going on. It's a loud environment. Like I don't know, man. I do agree that's definitely the worst call of the night, man. Stephen Miller, should I hold on to Hunt? Yes. Yes. No reason not to. I mean, the Browns have some good matchups coming up. Nick Chubb's not always healthy. Just even if he is healthy, it might not even matter, right? Yes, you hold on to Hunt. All right, Akshay, rate my team. Or we already hit this one. Okay. Geez Louise, Godwin or Evans? This is an interesting question. If you go through and look at their stats on the season, they're like almost identical. Like in terms of games under 10 points, they both only have 2. And outside of that, I mean, that's all you really need to hear. Like their stats are very, very close. Godwin getting more PPR work, Evans getting more red zone targets, but really like they're very similar. And I wouldn't mind deploying either of them on a weekly basis. They've been fantastic on the year.
Yeah, in fact, I'm gonna actually take this a step further and say, I mean, if you listen on the defense video and if you hear it also in the kicker video, this screams to me like Tom Brady's gonna come out here. This Tampa Bay team is gonna come out here. Bruce Arians is gonna come out there. Dude, they're not gonna let up. Like they're going to wreak havoc on this Washington team because they are pissed off because they just lost to that New Orleans team in bad fashion. The offense got totally just manhandled at the end of that game. With a week to stew about that, dude, Tom Brady's going to come back hungry. He's going to throw like 3 to 4 touchdown passes. I mean, he's going to be an absolute smash play this week. But this is a week where if I got Mike Evans and Godwin on my team, I'm starting them both. Like that is a possibility here because we have seen Mike Evans. Yeah, he's obviously the touchdown guy, but he also comes out to play even better against bad teams, right? And Godwin, with AB out, it's just going to eat up a ton of those PPR targets. Gronkowski's still banged up too. So I just love this opportunity for that passing offense.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. If you have both these guys, if I'm not mistaken,
you can do it.
This is still the worst secondary in the league against posting wide receivers. So
yeah.
All right, the 3 Walketeers. What's going on, man? Okay. Sit 1 in full PPR, McLaurin, Godwin, Brown, or Diggs. Did we hit this already?
I don't think so.
No, we had a very, very similar question. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we've hit this.
I think Scary Terry and Godwin are definitely starts. I'm leaning AJ Brown over Diggs, but I don't mind starting Diggs over AJ Brown.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you this: it's kind of tough to say let's go and throw Diggs in there and start him. I think AJ Brown, he's going to be going up against Marshawn Lattimore, but with Kamara out too, maybe this gets a little bit out of hand. But I don't know. I think I would bench AJB here.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
But it's like very back and forth between Diggs and Brown. I'm hoping that the Bills see that their offense has struggled and they kind of also coincide with that the fact that last year they fed the ball to Diggs so much. Maybe they start turning around that way. They just start feeding Diggs more.
It's tough, but I think it's a good problem to have here, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Matt J. Kim, do I pick up Nyheim Hines or Chris Carson from the waiver wire? It's a great question. I think you lean Chris Carson here.
I go opposite.
Really?
I understand your hesitancy, and I understand we both came in there and said, right, you can't read too much into this Nyheim Hines thing, right? He's dominating, but it's one game. Like, let's not chase the points. But this is another beautiful matchup, man. And obviously JT got a little banged up, but I think he's totally fine. But Nyheim Hines will be used a lot again in another favorable matchup where the Colts, they understand the way they're going to win ball games is through the run primarily. And dude, I don't know what the Colts were doing. We weren't using Nyheim Hines for like a good chunk of the season so far. And that is what we need to do. We need to deploy him in every single way possible because he's literally a top running back skill-wise in my mind when he is getting the work. So I think this is another opportunity here where you can start Nyheim Hines because let's say Chris Carson does come back, right? He does actually play. I'm not too sure he's going to get 100% of the work, right? It would make more sense to me if they kind of ease him back into it with the significant injury he did have.
I like this argument. I do. And I really like Nyheim Hines. I really do. And I mean, I brought him up on the waiver stream yesterday. If he's available, I said just go pick him up right away. Like it's not really a question, if he is available in your league. But yeah, I like that argument. But I do think down the stretch, Chris Carson's going to see more consistent volume than Nyheim Hines. But and that's my thought process there.
Okay, so yours more long-term approach.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that's definitely fair.
I don't disagree that in this first game back that Carson might be limited. That makes perfect sense. So I could see the argument either way here. You got one of us leaning Carson, one of us leaning Hines. So chat, let us know. Who would you guys pick up, Chris Carson or Nyheim Hines? All right. Who am I starting this week as my wide receiver 2 running back, and 1 flex? Cook, Swift, Najee, jeez, Debo, Brown, DK, Terry, Mike Williams, CD. Jeez Louise.
Well, you gotta have all those 3 running backs in your roster.
Cook, Swift, and Najee, for sure. DK and Terry or CD?
Mike Williams, man. He also did really well. He didn't totally disappoint last week, did he? Let me check it out.
He played better than the past 2 weeks, but he still only had like 8 fantasy points. I think he disappointed. Right? I think he disappointed. In my opinion.
Yeah, actually, he did disappoint. 6.8 points. Yeah.
I expected him to play much, much better in that matchup.
I will say though that Cowboys-Falcons game, there could be a decent amount of points put up, but it is a little concerning, Rick, because maybe it's the fact that Dak Prescott was banged up. So I don't know.
CD disappointed this past week too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Terry's got a good matchup.
Yeah, Terry's for sure. And for me, out of that, and then I would say that
I think DK.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, DK's been very solid.
He's wide receiver 5 on the year, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, DK's must plug in, and then it's crazy because you asked me a week or so ago, I'd say it's DK and Debo. There's no question about it for me. But this is really tough. This is tough. I can see where the dilemma is here. And
well, there's peculiars about this matchup too. I mean, going up against Ramsey, I mean, like, it's just he shuts him down. Him down.
Yeah. So I think DK, Terry, then he can kind of, if you're not feeling great, you can flip around between CD, AJ, or Mike Williams. But the running backs are in for sure. I think we both agree there. All right. Maybe on what's up, man. Nick Chubb for Tyreek Hill and Chris Carson. Man, this depends on your entire roster, man. Let us know your whole roster. This is tough to break down without it. Because initially I'm saying I'm leaning sticking with Nick Chubb, but if you need the wide receiver depth, then this isn't a bad trade. Evan, who can I get from Mike Williams and AJ Brown, and would you trade Carr for Hurts? Yeah, I would.
Yeah. If I were a real GM, I would never make that trade. But yeah, in fantasy, you definitely could do that.
He's been down the last 2 weeks, under 20 fantasy points the last 2 weeks. But when you look at his entire season, he's been actually quite phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, yes, the quarterback trade, I would. Who can I get from Mike Williams and A.J. Brown? Probably a pretty studly receiver or running back. Mm-hmm. Look for a wide receiver needy team and swing for a number 1 guy, whether it's at the wide receiver or running back position.
Yeah, I would definitely try to shoot for a running back in that maybe the 10 to 12 range. I think you can get a top 12 running back out of a guy like that.
Sure. Jerry, my first L in the catch league might come from John. I have an awful matchup against him with players on bye. Yeah. I don't know, dude. My team's trending pretty quickly downward, so we'll find out, Jerry. Hollywood, would you guys trade Najee and Amari Cooper for Henderson and Cook? I have Hopkins, Allen, and Adams for wide receiver, Chubb, Pollard, and McNichols for my running back. So trading away Najee and Amari Cooper, but getting Henderson and Cook is pretty juicy.
Yeah, I mean, what it really does is it strengthens your depth, because giving up Najee, you're giving up a better running back in my mind. But you're getting Cook back, who is just insanely good. And you're getting Henderson back, who's really good. So I like this deal, and I think we need to view Amari Cooper as the guy he is, which is just going to be inconsistent due to his injuries. So I like this deal, and I think it helps you. It's going to help you down the long stretch as well.
And then you can just think of it in this terms. You're going to be able to play Henderson, Cook, and Chubb on a weekly basis. And then he can still use Keenan Allen and Javonte Adams. So I would do that trade.
Oh, my gosh.
Killian, what's going on, man? D-Hop or Jamar? I think we'd both say Jamar Chase, just due to injuries here. But I think that when D-Hop's healthy, he's going to be just fine, guys.
Yeah, man.
I don't know when that is, though.
This could be, D-Hop's like worst season in a long time, potentially.
Yeah. And the Cardinals might not even really need him. Like
they don't need him. They don't need him.
They're going to let him get healthy, man. They're going to need him for the playoffs, if anything, right? That's where they're going to want him.
Yeah.
Maybe on Chris Carson or Eli Mitchell.
That's an interesting question right there.
I think wow. Chris Carson, when healthy, is
Chris
the
Carson.
answer.
Yeah.
How healthy is he going to be on the season? I don't know. So you can flop back and forth there.
Yeah, if Chris Carson's healthy, let's say he does get a decent amount of work, like coming back, Chris Carson for sure, right? Because Chris Carson, I mean, he was a top draft pick, right, in fantasy leagues coming into the season. And that's because, the running back position for the Seahawks team is valuable, right?
Yeah.
And if it does just happen that Russell Wilson comes back and you got Chris Carson back, I think the Seahawks team is going to make a serious push for the playoffs on the back stretch of here. And the Seahawks love to ground and pound, right? And then you just hit those overshot tops. So I like Chris Carson here.
Look at those football terms from Steven. Ground and pound, overshot the top. There you go. I think it's Chris Carson all the way then. Ishad, someone just dropped Cortland's son in my league. Him or Freiermuth better long term?
That's a tough one.
That's very tough. I'm leaning Freiermuth here, but there's more safer floor with Sutton, more upside with Freiermuth.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks to give up a receiver for a tight end, especially with a tight end that's not like in that top 3 to 5 caliber. But if you've got the depth to move off of a receiver who we both think is on the way down in terms of kind of just what his performance is going to be, then do it, because having a stable tight end for you is going to be good in the long run, and especially for that playoff stretch.
Yeah, I agree. I would say Freiermuth there for sure. All right, we're just going to leave this comment up on the screen until Steven's done for the night. All right, let's see here. Aiden, what's up, man? Good to see you out here, man. Jeez Louise, going up against the best team in our league: Mahomes, Kamara, Swift, Adams, Kupp, Pitts, Hopkins, and Rams. Wow. Don't lose faith, man. I played the best team in mine and Steven's personal league this past week, and I put a whooping on him, man. The best strategy is just all week text that opponent like very, very sad messages. That's what I did. And
that works. That works.
That's what Steven did to me last year in the playoffs, and it worked. Okay.
And we got to talk about this too, right? The news broke in the Catch Fam chat, right, that Kamara's hurt. He might not play, so that's huge because that's their best player.
D-Hop might not play.
Yeah, and Pat Mahomes, right, is also not Pat, right? He's not been the guy that we all thought he was going to be. And the Raiders have, over the past couple seasons, done very well at mitigating what he can do. So this might not be as hard of a matchup as you maybe think it will be.
Wonder Kid 52, a guy offered me Montgomery for Eli Mitchell and Judy. Should I take it? Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Wonder Kid 52. Look at these matchups coming up for Montgomery. Woo.
True RB1 potential rest of the season.
I would take that trade in a second, man. Let's see here. Jerry, nothing like some good fantasy talk. That's right, brother. It's been a good stream tonight, guys. It's been a good stream. What do you guys think about D-Jax? No value there for me, man.
Well, John, let me stop you right there because that was so disrespectful. You didn't even think about Madden. Guys, there's some serious value there in terms of your Madden because you can plug him in Madden and the guy's super fast, gets deep on your squad. But that's about the amount of use that he's going to have, other than he's going to be annoying because he's going to be on your bench and he's going to go off for like 28 points and then he's never going to play again. Because that's what Deshaun Jackson does. That's what he does every year.
Ronald, don't be skipping over my Diggs take. Sorry, I was trying to get through, making sure we were hitting questions because we've been pretty bad about that lately on Nights Hurts, both me and Steven. Okay, here we go, Ronald. I think Diggs has become exactly who they projected him to be going into last year. He destroyed expectations last year. Now I am thinking he is low end wide receiver 1, even high wide receiver 2, not high end wide receiver 1. I can't disagree with this take. I can't. And I think the biggest problem as well is still that there's so many mouths to feed on the offense. But yeah, he definitely stepped up to the plate last year, was a vital reason why the Bills were so unstoppable last year in the regular season. And yeah, I do think I agree in terms of fantasy that he's dropped down to maybe the wide receiver 2 level. He just isn't offering those crazy high ceilings that we got accustomed to last year, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he finished outside the top 12 to 15. And that sucks to say because it's really not his fault. This Bills offense has just expanded what they're doing. I mean, last year it really was Josh Allen to Diggs, and that's about it. But that's just not the scenario this year.
Yeah.
And John, just while we're talking about the Bills real quick, can we just break down real quick this Bills running back situation? Because if Moss is out, Devin Singletary, wow, that could be a good situation going up against the Jets if he's got 100% of that work. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
No.
Which, I mean, Devin Singletary might be on your waivers.
And I was about to say, yeah, Singletary might be available out there. So take a look at that. That's a good point by Steve. Steve's first good point on the night. All right. Okay. Jerry, now that things have slowed down, let me write up my team in my main league. Let's see if we're able to fix it. Absolutely, Jerry. We'll do whatever we can for you, my dude. Stober, Adrian Peterson, question mark. Ooh. He did score a touchdown. The Titans look good.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to view this Titans running back situation as a little bit muddled. I mean, I'm not super excited about any of the, any given running back here, but I will say that like on a weekly basis, AP has the highest upside because he's going to get that red zone work. And he's the best running back at all three of these guys. But, Foreman got his work. McNichols got his work. AP got his work. So it's really tough to take a shot in the dark on a 3 running back type of set. But if anybody's got longer rest of season potential, it's definitely AP. And he's also got the red zone work as well, a part of an offense that has done a very good job of getting to the end zone.
I think he's the back to own on that offense.
But, yeah.
It's a bad matchup this week. He's got the Saints. It's a bad matchup. But if they can find the end zone, which I'm sure they will, who are they going to hand it to? They're going to hand it to Adrian Peterson. And why wouldn't they? So I love to see this. I mean, it's good to see AP back in the league, man. Let's see here. Okay, I can't scroll.
James Martin, thoughts on Drake rest of season?
Yeah, my chat's all like crazy on my screen here. Thoughts on Drake rest of season? Okay. He's had double-digit fantasy points the last 3 games, right?
I think he's somebody that people really need to start considering because he's a good player, man. They paid him a lot of money. He's talented. He's obviously got that third down back roll type of upside. But more than that, too, I mean, Josh Jacobs, man, he just has never stayed healthy. So if Drake ends up taking over, I mean, holy crap, this guy's going to be good. But yeah, man, double-digit performances, like you can't ignore that, right? Especially when it's coming with consistent work. And I mean, going up against the Chiefs this week, right? I think that's another perfect, type of a situation for him there.
I agree. Here's Jerry's typo for everyone. Okay. I didn't mean to do that, actually. Jerry, okay, Lamar, Henderson, Lockett, Andrews, Goddard, Q, Steelers, or lock-ins. RB2, wide receiver 2, and flex. Currently on my bench, Collins, Watkins, Wilson, Harris. I want to drop them all, but my waiver options aren't any better. Gosh.
Yeah, those guys were rough.
Jerry, what do we do here? I don't know if this is fixable.
We'll never say that, man. Never say never.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to, but this is tough. And every time we go over your options on the waiver wire, I mean, it just stresses me out because I really think like down as nitty gritty as I can. Like, okay, how can we possibly squeeze something out for you, man? And I haven't really done it for you at all, and I feel bad about that. So let me know who's available, like we do every week, Jerry, and we'll go from there. Ethan, would you trade Zeke and Myers for Henderson and McLaurin? Yes. I would. Upgrade at receiver, slight drop at running back, but not a giant drop.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would definitely do that. I don't know why my chat is so messed up tonight.
Ron the GOAT. In the trade I told you all about, I received Higgins and Montgomery and gave away Beasley, Michael Carter, and Eli Mitchell. I feel like I did good. I think me and John would definitely echo that as well, man, because Montgomery, we're both super high on him rest of the season. And, this Bengals offense is going to support two receivers on a pretty consistent basis because obviously Jamar Chase, we all love him, but T. Higgins is a great receiver as well. And I think that they're going to continue to feed him, right? Because, I mean, when Jamar Chase is getting like double and triple teamed, Higgins is just going to sit open, right? And they're going to have a lot of passing work, a lot of passing volume. So I definitely like those guys that you snagged there.
I like it too. iTricks_gaming. Should I trade Waddle and Gaskin for Tyrique, Eckler, and Fant? Oh, Javonte, Waddle, and Gaskin. Yeah. Tyrique, pretty even swap with Javonte. Yeah. Eckler is a far upgrade from Waddle and Gaskin.
Combined.
Fant, not really like, I mean, even like if you're giving up Javonte, Waddle, and Gaskin, you could argue that just getting Tyrique and Eckler is enough. So Fant's just kind of a nice little cherry on top there.
But Fant's been productive at the tight end position, right?
Oh,
so
sure.
I definitely like that. And I like that you just asked for a little bit more, right? You were going for the absolute robbery there. So I think that you're winning this deal hand over fist for sure.
I don't hate this. Jerry, it's bad, but I don't want to throw in the towel. At least give it a college try, Yeah.
We don't quit in the catch, fam.
No.
We don't quit.
No. I was certainly not implying that you should quit, Jerry. But I just stressed out, Jerry, because I really want to see you get a dub, man. Let me know who's floating out around there for receivers, okay? And we'll see what we can do. Nathan, would Darrell Henderson and Mike Williams for Deontay Johnson, James Conner be a good deal?
I kind of like that, man.
I would say yes.
I would say if you're in a win now situation, I like that. But that you are giving up value, right? It's not going to be like you're like a robbery of the deal. I mean, giving up Henderson's going to suck, and obviously Mike Williams' upside is higher than most receivers in the game. But Deontay Johnson's going to give you such a level floor on a weekly basis. I mean, he's just so solid week to week. So, and James Conner, like we just said, could lead the league in touchdowns when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I agree. Face 10 foil, should I flex Robinson or Javonte Williams? Robinson might not play, A. But B, Javonte Williams' matchup is so juicy.
Yeah.
It's so juicy. It's a tougher matchup for Robinson if he does play. I would lean Williams, man.
Yeah, I would too.
James, kind of dumb question, but would you trade Pollard for Chuba Hubbard? I own CMC. No,
I wouldn't do it. I mean, obviously you get the handcuff there. That's pretty valuable because you get to lock up that Panthers backfield. But Tony Pollard, you're getting a super high-end handcuff, the best in the game right now, right?
And he gets touches when Zeke plays.
Yeah.
Chuba doesn't get nearly as many. So
yeah,
I wouldn't personally. Yeah. All right, Steven, are you signing off for the night?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sign off for tonight. I will be back on though tomorrow. So it's been fun tonight though, and kicker video is gonna drop tonight. So make sure you take a look at that. I've seen that you guys have already mentioned some of the guys that are gonna be on there. Just give you a little pre-look. We're gonna definitely have Young Wei Q on there. Have guys like Greg Joseph on there. So definitely take a look at that video. Also take a look at the must-start defenses, and let us know in the comments what you think about those guys.
Course, and go check out Steven's must-start defenses on the week as well tonight after the stream. So yeah, Steven, appreciate you coming out as always, man. We get you back tomorrow, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And just a shout out to Ron the Goat, man. Thank you for leaving a nice comment in there, saying it's a banger. So I always appreciate the love down there in the comments.
Really made Steven's day. So there you go.
Yeah.
we might get a surprise appearance from Steven later in the week as well. So stay tuned, guys. Everyone, thanks Steven for his help tonight. Steven, we appreciate you, man. We will talk to you soon. And I will be sticking around for just a little bit longer to hang out with you guys, keep answering questions. So, Steven, we'll talk to you soon, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Peace out, bro.
Peace, yo.
All right. There you go. Let's see here. Okay, my chat is like all jacked up tonight, guys. I do not know why. You know what? I'm just going to pull it up on my phone so that I can actually stay up with you guys. I don't know what's going on with my chat, guys. It's all screwed up. Guys, make sure you hit that like button while we're chilling here towards the end of the stream, man. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that sub button down below as well and join the Catch fam. All right, let's see here. First of all, I'm going to get Madden going for the final hour. We're going to keep hopping to guys' fantastic fantasy questions on the night. Let's see. This will only take a second. Right. It's gaming. My team would be Kyler, Swift, Eckler, Cup, Tyrique, D-Hop, and Fant. I like that, man. I really think that's a solid trade overall. Let's see here. Okay, Jerry. You know, Benjamin, Deonta Foreman, Deshaun Jackson, Swam, Zacchaeus, Rashad Penny, Khalif Raymond, and Aguilar. These are the best options. The only two I would consider there, Jerry, would be Zacchaeus and Khalif Raymond, but I don't love those options. So looking at your bench again, you've got Collins, Watkins, Wilson, Harris. Ooh. Probably Collins and Watkins is who I would drop, and I would just take a swing on Zacchaeus as well as, ooh, it's so tough, man. Khalif Raymond, like I don't feel confident in whatsoever, but at least he potentially gets wide receiver one value on some weeks, right? Let me know what you feel about that, Jerry. Ron the Goat, I wanted to give up after my team fell to 1-5, but now I'm 4-5 and fighting. Let's go, trying to win out. Yeah, that's always a good feeling, man. Okay, TS, would you play Hopkins if he's healthy over Hollywood or Pitman? Ooh. Honestly, man, Hollywood and Pitman have been so good that I just don't think I would, man. Yeah. Truly said Mike Williams and Damian Harris for Diggs. Who wins that? Ooh. It depends. I would lean Mike Williams and Damian Harris there. I would. Oops. Sorry, I just took my face off the screen. Hold on a sec. There we go. I don't know why we're having technical difficulties. Jeez, there we go. Jeez Louise, man. Okay. Yeah, truly sub. I'd lean Mike Williams and Damian Harris. Nathan Janke, I'm 2-7 with the second most points right now, and I am one game back from the playoffs. That's why I need to win now. Okay, let's try and get you as prepared for a fantasy dub as possible. Holden, please trade away Saquon plus DJ Moore plus Galladay for Niggs and Najee non-PPR. Yeah, I would do that. Saquon, Moore, Galladay, you receive Diggs and Najee. I would definitely consider that, man. Jonathan, I might get Pitman for Ayuk and Moss. Is that a W? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Jerry, top 5 receiver, Raymond, Aguilar, MVS, Curtis, or maybe Zach Pascal can be a sneaky play. I like Zacchaeus, man. And obviously I can't pronounce his name, but yeah, I don't mind him. I mean, he's done well enough in Calvin Ridley's absence to at least consider him, right? So I would consider that move as well. Brett, I've got Mixon, McCaffrey, Cordero, and Elijah Mitchell, and basically traded away Mixon for Tyreek Hill. How did I do? Now I have Debo, McLaurin, and Tyreek Hill. So you've still got Mixon, McCaffrey, Cordero, and Mitchell. That's absolutely filthy, man. Basically traded away Mixon for Tyreek Hill. I don't think that hurt your depth too badly. Now I have Debo, McLaurin, and Hill. I love that team, Brett. Yeah, I love that, man. I got nothing bad to say about that whatsoever. All right, what's going on with Madden? Now Madden's giving us issues, guys. I don't know what's going on tonight. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, Brett, I like those moves. And 18 PPR. Yeah, I think that's fine. Hold in. Thanks. Absolutely, man. Let's see here. James Martin says, thanks. Adam, yo. What's up, Adam? Jonathan is Pitman for Ayuk and Zach Moss, PPR, a W. I think so. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. James Martin is Gainwell a drop? I would say yes. Yes. Even though he did technically find the end zone. Yes, he's a drop. Holden, trade away Saquon plus DJ Moore plus Galladay for Diggs and Najee. Yeah, yeah. I would do that trade, man. I see that yes a couple of times. Yes, I would do that trade, my guy. I think it's a great trade, actually. Okay, Joseph, start D. Williams or Elijah Mitchell in full PPR. I'm going to lean Elijah Mitchell there, Joseph. Yeah. Let's see. Will L, Stephon Deontay, CD next week. If you have to pick one, I really like this matchup for CD Lamb. I like Deontay Johnson versus the Lions. I think that I rank them higher than Diggs, which is crazy. But yeah, I think it's between those two guys. I think that CD and Deontay both have a bounce back week. I'm kind of leaning Deontay Johnson. Is that crazy? Ronald, I will repeat it again and again. Never trust an Eagles running back. Yeah, unless it's Jordan Howard, apparently. Bossman Fat, hey, did you end up starting Herbert? I went with Monty because I couldn't lose anyways. And how many points did you need to win last night? So, yes, I did start Montgomery. It wouldn't actually have mattered in the long run. But listen, my opponent I was up by like 40. My opponent had Najee Harris and Deontay Johnson, and then I had Montgomery or Herbert. I could start either one. I went with Montgomery, which was the right choice. I'm glad that we both chose Montgomery. So yeah. I was going to win either way, the way that it shaped out, but I was very, very scared if Khalil Herbert, not Khalil Herbert, if Najee Harris and Deontay Johnson had a big enough night, right? That's definitely what scared me there. And they did not. So I would have won either way, but I appreciate you shouting that out, man. James Zhao, trade Thielen for Monte. I need an RB. My RBs are Henderson, Carter, Javonte, and Hunt. I think that's a fair swap if it's not going to hurt you at wide receiver. Yeah. Holden, sorry if I didn't get to you in time, Holden. Trade away Saquon, DJ Moore, Galladay. Once again, yes, I would do that trade for Diggs and Najee. Yeah. Ronald, I was 0-4, now 5-4 in first place is 6-3. Let's go, Ronald. Let's see. Chase Brown, 2-7, so now I'm finally out of the playoff hunt. Hey, don't give up, Chase. Don't give up. Oh, man, we got a pack in Madden, boys. Whoa. We want Rondé Barber all the way for this pack. Holy cow. All right, Joseph, start Hawkinson or Fearmouth in full PPR. I'm leaning Hawkinson still, but I really do like Fearmouth as well. Oh, dude, I like this pack we just got in Ultimate Team. Okay. Chase Brown, should I use my first waiver on Ayuk or Bateman? Man, I like both of these guys, but I think that Ayuk might offer higher upside, which I really is crazy to me because like a week or so ago, I was not going to like recommend him whatsoever. But I think he might offer higher upside, man. Let us know in the chat, Bateman or Ayuk. All right. Trilly sub, Cup, CMC, and Knox for Cook, Adams, and Waller. Who wins that? Wow. I'm leaning Cooks, Dalvin Cook, Adams, and Waller in that trade, Trilly sub. Brett, I've got CMC, Mixon, Cordero, Elijah Mitchell, traded Mixon for Tyrique, win or loss. I think it's a win. I think it's a win, man. I do, actually. Yeah. I think that's going to bolster your roster a little bit more. So I think it's a win. Let's see here. Joseph, should I drop Tony for Landry? This is tough because obviously Landry's been underperforming, right? But I still think Landry should, on the season, see more wide receiver one value. So I think I'm leaning Landry there, actually. Gio, what's going on, man? Trade DJ Moore for Scary Terry. Yes. Yes, you can consider this, especially with the news of, not that Sam Darnold has been playing very good. Don't get me wrong. DJ Moore's got some favorable matchups coming up, but so does Scary Terry. So I'm going to lean Scary Terry there. James out, Baltimore or Tampa this week? Tampa for me. Tampa. Who? Yeah, Tampa. It depends, right? Because if Tua doesn't play, which he might not, he might be the better start. But it's tough. It's tough. I think I'm still gonna lean with Tampa though. All right, let's see here. Jerry, am I crazy to pick up and start Swain? Not necessarily. No, in your situation, no, Jerry. James, DK or Lamb rest of the season PPR? DK for me. Far less targets in that Seahawks offense, so DK for me. DK's been better on the season as well. All right, Bronco plays. What's going on, man? Keenan Allen or Deontay Johnson non-PPR? I'm going to lean Keenan Allen here. If I'm not mistaken, well, as of late, I feel like he's gotten in the end zone more. So I'm going to lean Keenan Allen there. But I think these guys I actually view in relatively similar fashion overall. So it's tough. They're very, very similar on the season. But I think I'm leaning Keenan Allen. Guys, make sure you hit that like button, man. Let's try and get as many new viewers to tonight's stream as possible. And guys, please consider subscribing down below if you guys are new to the channel. Truly, truly helps us out. Become part of the Catch fam today. All right, let's see here. Jonathan is getting Pitman for Ayuk and Zach Moss a W. I'm getting Pitman full PPR. Yes, absolutely, man. I like that trade a lot, man. Brett, thanks. Absolutely, man. That's what we're here for, my guy. LeBron's brain. What's up, man? CMC and Emmanuel Sanders for Dalvin Cook and Allen. Yeah, I would definitely consider that. I would. Allen's an upgrade over Sanders. Cook and CMC, like they're very, very similar, man. They're very, very similar. Both dealing with injuries on the season. I mean, they're very, very similar, my guys. So, yeah. All right, Jay Sandy, Swift or Mixon rest of season? I'm going to lean Mixon just due to the fact that he's tied to a better offense. Drop Devonta Smith. He's so inconsistent, at least to sell high, don't you think, off this 20-point game? Yeah, I don't think you should drop him. I think you should try and trade him. Yeah. Coming off of that game, man, yeah, I think you should try and trade him, but I still don't see a ton of value for him on the rest of the season. He's just been so wildly inconsistent, so I think you have the right start there. Let's see here. LeBron's brain. Don't mean to flex, but Jeffrey Simmons and Autry both went to Mississippi State on the Titans O-line. Yeah, and they are balling out. I mean, I would give you all the reason in the world to flex on that one, my guy. All right, let's see here. Geez Louise, Ravens D or Miami D versus the Pats. I'm gonna go with the Browns defense because the Ravens defense really hasn't been that good on the season, man. Like they've been quite bad, actually. So I'm gonna go with the Browns. Make sure to check out Steven's must-start defensive video of the week, man. That might give you some better insight on who you want to start this week. But overall, man, I'm leaning the Browns there for sure. All right. Let's see here. James South, Thielen or Mike Williams, PPR rest of season. Thielen, he's been much, much more consistent. Williams might offer a bit of a higher upside, but he's been inconsistent as of late, man. So I'm going to lean, I'm going to lean Thielen there. All right, let's see here. Jay Sandy, Ronald says, going to improve, and yeah, I do like his upside. He don't drop him. Yeah, I don't think you should drop him either. But at the same time, man, you can definitely try and trade him coming off that giant performance, right? Let's see here. Simon for president. What's up, man? Always good to have you here, my guy. Hope you're doing well tonight. I'm gonna go for a high or sell high or just hold and hope he does it again next week and have an upper hand on sell high. Yeah, I don't hate that either. James out, trade Lamb, Hunt, Michael Carter for Saquon and Woods. I would hold on, James. I would hold on to Lamb, Hunt, and Carter there. Yeah. I would hold on to those two. Or those three, excuse me. Better depth, right? And I mean Lamb and Woods relatively similar, right? And then more depth between Hunt and Carter. So yeah. Sandy, Javonte, or Pitman? Pitman for sure. Pittman's the guy to own between those two for sure. Someone dropped Odell last week. Should I pick him up and stash STS? No, I would not. I don't think there's any reason to. Yeah, I would not do that. We don't know where he's going to go. He really hasn't shown any fantasy value regardless. So, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Let's see here. Chase Sandy, yeah, should I go for a more consistent wide receiver too? Okay, yeah, thank you. Appreciate it for real. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, bro. That's what we're here for, my guy. So yeah, no problem at all, man. Let me know if you got any other questions on the night. Wow, great run of fantasy questions. Great run of fantasy Q&A there. So make sure you guys, if you need anything else, man, let me know, man. We'll be cooling for a little bit longer here. So just let me know what you guys need as we jump into a Madden Ultimate Team tourney that we're probably going to lose, not going to lie. So, guys, make sure you hit that like button, man. If you're new to the channel, make sure you sub down below and become part of the Catch fam tonight. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming out tonight, man. It's been a great stream so far. Jerry, did you say pick up Jamal Williams? No. No, I did not, Jerry. Max, pick up Chris Carson, or is he out for season? He might be playing this coming week. So, yeah, if he's available, he's worth the pickup, Max. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. All right, I got kind of lost on this team we're drafting, which is perfectly fine. We need some more offensive linemen. Sandy, LaVisca, or Javonte? I'm thinking hold Javonte right. I'm in the same boat with LaVisca. Yeah, Devonta's the wide receiver to have between those two guys, Sandy, for sure. For sure. Devonta at the moment, just a little bit more upside overall. So, yes, we're going to lean Devonta Smith there without a doubt, my guy. Without a doubt. All right. Ronald says, no one said that, Jerry. If Swift isn't hurt, you don't want him. Yeah. Simon for president. Need some advice on my lineup for this week. Half PPR, 10-team league. Go for it, man. You know we got you, my guy. Ooh, Bradley Chubb. Let's pick up Bradley Chubb. All right, Sandy, pick up Jordan Howard this week for his last week as RB1 if you need a running back. Yeah, I do know some people in this chat are going to argue we never trust. Hey, an Eagles running back. It's a tough matchup this week, but at the same time, the volume should be there, right? So you're just kind of hoping he gets into the end zone. James Dow, Lamb and Hunt for Woods and Barkley. That I like a little bit more. That trade I do like, James. I like that trade a lot more than the last trade you sent our way, man. Sandy, I'm just going through my league and checking what trades I'd probably get easy for Devonta high. Yeah, man. Let me know, and let the Catch fam in the chat know who you think you can end up with, man. And we'll definitely try and guide you in the right direction for sure. All right, Jerry, top 4 running backs: Penny, Hushek, Jalen Richard, or Eno. Ooh, this is so tough, man. I'm going to say Penny just on the off chance that he ends up getting some touches, but it's a gamble no matter what, man. It's a gamble no matter what. So it's really, really tough. Really tough there, Jerry. Where's your headspace at, Jerry? Because the next best option, in my opinion, is probably Hushek, which is like really stretching it, man. Like really stretching it. Ronald, I don't trust Howard. Yes, I know. You were the first person that I thought of overall. So, and I don't necessarily blame you. Indeed, Jacoby Myers on first 1-point game versus Devonta Smith on this high game. Jacoby never broke like 16 though. Yeah, I would actually. I think right now, I think I'd rather have Devonta than I would Jacoby Myers. He's been so wildly inconsistent. So I think I'm leaning Devonta there once again. I mean, I don't want to overreact to this game, but I think that's where I stand right there, man. All right, let's see here. Ooh, we just got a stud right tackle. Ooh, we can get Aaron Rodgers or D-Hop. Man. Oh, man, they really messed us up with this Aaron Rodgers play. Ooh. Let's just pick Aaron Rodgers. Why not? Okay, this is our final play. So we can get Buda Baker, Marlon Humphrey. Nah, we're taking Vita Vea, baby. All right. Do we change our... Yeah. Let's pick up Andy Reid. Why not? G, what's up, man? Always good to see you. Hey, catch fam, Deontay or Swift this week? I'm leaning... Ooh, it's a tough matchup for Swift. I think I'm leaning Deontay there versus the Lions. All right, James. If Chubb and Moss are out, do I start Dearness, Singletary, Carter, Javonte? Javonte for sure. It's a gorgeous matchup. He's coming off of a 100-plus yard game. So for sure, Javonte. I don't mind Dearness with what we saw him do in that one performance. So yeah, Dearness and Javonte, but Michael Carter is definitely someone to consider as well. Ronald says, Jerry, I go Eno on that list. I don't really mind that either. I don't. It's really, really tough overall. Really tough there. What has Eno done on the year? He played pretty well last week. All right. If I'm taking a chance on Penny, should I just start Collins? I mean, yeah, that's probably a good point, Jerry. I'm sorry. I kind of that went over my head. I do apologize. Yeah, you're probably right, Jerry. You're probably right there. Why not just take a chance on Collins over Penny? Why not? All right, let's see here. Jesus LMSG, start Pitman or Woods this week? This is a great question. Let's take a look here. Man, Pittman's just been absolutely lighting it up, man. Like, absolutely lighting up. He's got Jacksonville, 25th against opposing wide receivers, man. I'm pretty inclined to say Pittman, but I've been a huge supporter of Robert Woods on this season. And he's right next to Pittman in terms of ranking, but the Niners are much better against opposing wide receivers. So for me, it's going to be Pittman, actually, just based on the matchup, man. Great question, man, though. But I'm definitely going to lean Pittman there. Sandy, okay, yeah. Marvin Jones versus Devonta, and is the Jags true wide receiver ever coming back? I think it's Chark. I don't remember. He got hurt. No, Chark is out for the season. So, no, we will not see Chark deployed on the rest of the season. But I still like Devonta more. I mean, part to do with how inconsistent the Jaguars' offensive play has been, but it's tough. It's tough. That's probably the best out of the options that you've given out so far. But Devonta's pretty similar and probably has higher upside, man. All right, guys, make sure you hit that like button, man. If you're new to the channel, make sure you consider subscribing down below. And let's keep, I mean, the fantasy chat is just, you guys are killing it tonight, man. Let's keep it going, baby. All right, Drew, I feel like Swift plays well against hard matchups like the Rams, but bad against good matchups like the Eagles. Yeah, that's probably not far off, man. All right. Jesus LMSG. Sorry. Trade Connor and Woods for Justin Jefferson, or who would you recommend to go after? Thanks in advance. Of course, man. That's what we're here for. Bro, if you're asking me, I mean, Robert Woods is still, like we just talked about, a top 12 receiver on the year. And Connor has been so incredible as of late that I would not make that trade, man. Like, I truly wouldn't. I would rather have both Connor and Woods. Yeah, I would. So I wouldn't make that trade. If you're going to trade both of those guys, first, I'd like to see your whole roster. I know that's a pain, man, but it just really helps me gauge where to go overall. And, oh gosh, I'm going to fumble in Madden. Okay, no, I'm not. But yeah, I'd like to see the whole roster just so I can make sure I'm making an accurate call for you, man. And yeah, because Connor and Woods is very good value to give up. Like if you're going to give up both of those guys, especially Connor coming off of one of the best performances from a running back on the season, you should be getting outstanding value there. Ronald, has done nothing, but Edmunds was there. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. That's probably a good point. Yeah, I actually kind of like then. I do. Otis, yo, what's up, man? What's up, Otis? It's always good to have you here, my guy. Sandy, okay, yeah, I'm scared that Javonte's target share is low and Hurts only throws it like 14 to 15 times a game. Yeah, that's not untrue by any means. But he does seem to be a little bit better than most of those receivers that you're throwing out, I would still argue. Not by a whole lot, but by enough. So, yeah. All right, let's see here. Otis, my matchup this week has Chubb, and I'm happy he got COVID fantasy-wise, but sad another good player is out. Yeah, it does stink. It does stink. But at the same time, and Chubb's got so many good matchups coming up, man. Like, it just sucks. But it helps you. It helps you. I mean, hey. Yeah, I'm sure that you're taking that with stride, but it does help you. All right, Joshua, what's going on, man? Is Waller worth trading for in general in his Ayuk? And could be a flex for Monday Night Football. Yes, Ayuk can definitely be a flex play this week. I'm not in love with it, but he's still a good enough flex play that we can utilize him on the week. And I really hope that he's coming back in general, or from the form that we saw him perform at last season, right? So we'll find out. Waller, yes, of course, Waller is still worth trading for. How much you should give up for him, I'm not quite sure, but he's worth trading for sure. I mean, he's still going to be a top tight end, man. All right, Jay Sandy, thanks for all the help. Drop a like and I'll sub. I'll be back tomorrow. Some got to log off. Hey, no problems, man. Appreciate you coming out tonight, man. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and congrats on becoming part of the Catch family. Truly, truly appreciate that support, and we will talk to you soon, my guy, man. Let's see. Everyone like and sub, though. This man is a genius. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the kind words and the support, man. It means a lot to the channel. So absolutely, 100% appreciate that, man. And thanks for coming through on the night, my guy. Let's see here. Otis, I'm trying to pick up Johnson this week off waivers because Chubb is out. Yeah. And here's the one thing to keep in mind, guys. Chubb still has a chance to potentially play. Okay. He's on the COVID list, but he has not been ruled out. So keep that in mind. If he can pass or get 2 negative COVID tests before kickoff, then he can play. So just keep that in mind. Okay. But if he does not play, then Johnson is a great pickup, and that makes him worth just picking up in general, right? All right, let's see here. James Barton, would you trade Drake for Freiermuth? Yeah, I would. I mean, I really like Drake and where he's at on the season, but at the same time, man, I like Freiermuth as well. So it just depends on where you need more depth, right? Is it at the running back position, or is it worth it to take a swing at the tight end position as well? So, I mean, I think that they're relatively even players at this point in the season. So, no, I don't hate that trade at all, man. Ooh, this guy's trying to go no huddle on us, boys. Let's see. Oh, we got Khalil Mack. Good play here. Good play, man. Okay. Otis just dropped a like. Hey, I appreciate that support to the channel, my guy. It really does help us out when you guys hit that like and sub button. So just appreciate you guys helping to build the community. All right, let's see here. Jesus LMSG. Roster is Brady Rogers. I have Taylor, Connor, Williams, Johnson, and Chris Carson. I have Evans, Pitman, Debo, Woods, Ridley, and Kyle Pitts. Okay, so let's take a look here. So you're going to end up trading Connor and Woods. I would not make that trade. Looking at your receivers overall, man, you've got Pittman, you've got Debo, Woods, right? Like those 3 guys can get you through, man. And just having that added running back depth and having James Conner lead that running back room for you, I wouldn't make the trade. I really wouldn't. I like where your team's at, actually, man. I think that there's really nothing to stress out about over that roster, right? I would hold on to them for sure. And I actually think that You could argue your running backs are a little bit, well, it's actually pretty even par between the receivers and running backs. Yeah, I would hold on to that squad, man. I think that it's worth, or it's not necessarily worth doing that trade, right? I don't think Jefferson's as high of an upgrade that you need to go out and make that trade. So, yeah, I like where your receivers are at, man. Pitman, Debo, and Woods can get you through it, man, for sure. Oh no, this guy finally broke a run. Okay, Ronald can't afford to lose the running back. Yeah, looking at the running backs overall, I wouldn't want to lose those running backs, especially Connor, the way he's been playing. Tied for the league with Derrick Henry for the most rushing touchdowns on the season. So I just would not give that up, man. Ooh, he's getting tricky out here. He's got some offensive moves. All right, guys, let me know what else you guys need, man. How's everyone feeling tonight, man? First night of week 10, officially. How we feeling heading into week 10, guys? And this he's playing very similar to me. Kind of scaring me. Oh, good read, but didn't do a lot with it. I feel okay going into week 10. I mean, I'm coming off of 2 very strong victories in my primary leagues. Not doing so well in the Catch Fam League as of late, but I just appreciate you guys who are in the Catch Fam League being a part of it and just having fun with us and all of that. So, but yeah, I feel pretty good in my primary leagues, man. Like I said, I'm coming off of 2 strong dubs, and in my primary league just moved up to spot number 3, and I've got the worst team in the league, but I have a feeling he's got a shot to actually come out and beat me. So we'll see what happens. Man, I thought he was going to throw it. This guy is starting to mess with me, bro. All right, let's see. Let's go goal line. He's just going to run it. We got all torn up on this drive, boys. Oh, man, what is this guy doing? Running the clock down. Who is in at running back for him? Vita Vea says no, thank you. Man, I think this Thursday night football game with the Ravens and Miami is going to be fantastic. I think that there's going to be a lot of points scored for the Ravens. I really, really like this game. If you're a Lamar Jackson owner with Lamar coming off one of his best performances on the season, then I think that this only gets better for you. Whoa, that was a weird play. I'm really looking forward to Thursday night football on the week, guys. I really am. Let's see here. Let me get this one play in just in case this guy tries anything tricky. I don't know. This is a scary play. Oh, no way. Oh, no way. Let's go. All right. I'm going to attempt to read this while running this touchdown. Will L. 4-man PPR league, so may seem weird. Josh Allen, Brady, CMC, Eckler, Henderson, Connor, Robinson, Barkley, Diggs, Evans, Deontay, Jamar, Ridley, Waller. Any suggestions? Who? If I want to be honest, man, I don't know. I don't know that you can really. Can you improve that team? I mean, I hate to give you a vanilla answer, man, but I don't know if you can really improve that team. Like, where are you looking to improve overall? Because I think that team is absolutely stacked, man. Jerry, all right, I'll catch everyone next time. Hey, Jerry, we'll see you tomorrow, bro. I appreciate you coming out. Sorry, Jerry, if I didn't get you the best advice overall on kind of turning your team around, man. It's really tough the position you're in. So if you need to hit me up, man, feel free to, Jerry. But it's always good to have you out here, man. I appreciate your continued support to the channel. And we'll see you tomorrow night, man. Both Steven and I will be on tomorrow night at 7:30. So make sure you guys got that notification bell on so you guys never miss an upload or stream. Jerry, always appreciate you, bro. We'll see you soon. James Martin, trying to make a trade tonight. Would you put AJ Brown over Woods? To some degree, because he is the wide receiver 1 on that respective offense. So yeah, to some degree I would. Jesus LMSG, last one, bro. Hey, no worries, man. You guys can ask as many questions as you need to. That's what we're here for. So, no reason to apologize, but I appreciate that. Ooh, get that tackle. Ooh, no. Would you trade those two players if I could somehow get Dalvin Cook or stay put? Honestly, man, James Conner has been so good on the season, and Bobby Trees adds that depth for you that I don't think I would, man. I really like those two players right now. They're at a very solid point on the season. So I don't think I would, man, to be completely honest. We got to try and make this play. Oh, we can't. We can't. A-Rod 99, should I trade Jefferson for another wide receiver or stick with him rest of season? I would just stick with him. You know, I don't want to give you a vanilla answer, but I think he's been good enough. He's still a top-rated guy on the season. So, no, I would hold on to him, man. I mean, not crazy high, but he's still done well enough, right? I know he's been frustrating at times, but let's see here. He's still coming in. Let's see. Let's see. He's still wide receiver 15, depending on scoring format, of course. But, hey, that's not bad, man. I like that number. Wow, this guy is starting to trend downward here. Ronald says at James Martin, I would. Yeah, I think that A.J. Brown, just due to volume, as the number one receiver, is the guy to own there. So I would lean with that statement as well, Ronald. Yeah. Oh, man, this guy's gonna quit. He's gonna quit. There's no way. There's no way he doesn't. If he's real, he'll play though. Bro, you're only down 2 scores. All you got to do is cause a turnover. Oh, come on, man. Okay, Will, should I start Stephon or Deontay this week? The Bills offense may be looking for a statement game versus Deontay has been pretty consistent. Yeah, I view these guys in relatively similar fashion right now in the season. It's a pretty good matchup overall for Deontay Johnson, right? I mean, the Lions have been surprisingly good in rankings, but that's just due to a lot of game scripts that just don't really count, right? When we're looking at Diggs, obviously he's on the better offense overall. But the Jets, once again, have been surprisingly good against opposing wide receivers, but really just due to game scripts. So I think Deontay Johnson is who I would roll with, but hey, Diggs can still pop off at any time. You know, like obviously he's disappointed on the year. We've kind of lowered expectations for him, but yeah, I would take a swing on Deontay Johnson there, man. But it's a tough call for sure. All right, let's see. Let's hop into another mutt game here. We'll probably be winding down around 10 p.m. So make sure you guys get in any questions that you do need. But as always, man, I do really appreciate you guys coming out tonight and chilling overall and asking me some great fantasy Q&A, as well as getting Steven some great fantasy Q&A on the night as well. Aiden hit me up with a trade in the Catch family. I'll have to take a look at that. All right. Ronnie, what's up, man? Always good to see you. What's good, man? Hey, would you trade AB for Swift? Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think this injury is going to linger around for a little bit. So, yes. I mean, I think it's a fair swap for sure. Yes, I would absolutely consider that trade. If you're on the Swift side of things, yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Oh no, my controller messed up. All right, let's see if we can't catch another dub in this Mutt tournament. That last game went in our favor. So, yeah, Ronnie, I would definitely do that trade if you're on the DeAndre Swift side of things. He's still top 10 back on the year, so keep that in mind. I love AB, man. I love the upside that he brings, but I just don't know when we're going to see him fully healthy, man. It's very unfortunate. Ronnie, good to see you, though. Appreciate you coming out to the stream tonight. Ooh, I thought that run was about to break, man. right, let's run the same exact play just to really irritate this guy and get a first. Man, some of these Madden games have gotten pretty intense for us over the last couple of nights. All right, let's put in Cam Newton. All right. Man, how bad was week 9? Like, I know we're trying to move on and just get forward into week 10, but gosh, week 9 was something else, man. Like, it was just atrocious. All right, I'm going to pretend like I'm changing the play, but I'm not. All right, and then let's pull one of these. Wow, wow, okay. Don't run the football with Cam Newton. Okay. Ronnie, I think I could make the playoffs with Hendo, DeMont, and Swift. Yeah, absolutely. Look at some of these matchups coming up for David Montgomery as well. I mean, they're phenomenal, man. So, yeah, I absolutely think that combination of backs can get you into the playoffs for sure. Yeah. And if losing AB doesn't hurt your wide receiver depth, then, yeah, I love this trade, man. Absolutely love it. Oh, why are all my backups in, man? What's going on here? Man, I knew I shouldn't have come out of the blitz there. Yikes. Ronald says, or Ronnie says at Ronald at Ronnie. Sure would. Yeah, I like that trade a lot, man. I do. I do. All right. Dude, what happened to oh, okay, this is not a good package to be in. Not a good package at all. We got to change this. We got to change this formation, boys. Oh, no, he's going no huddle. Let's just go full out blitz here. Let's bring Marlon, or not Marlon, back. Jeez. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, man, I thought we were going to pick it. Simon for President, I have Henderson and RB1, Carter. Let's see here. Carter and RB2 and J. Robin flex, but he's questionable. Dylan is available on the waivers. I can drop Booker. Oh, wow. I can drop Booker and pick up Dylan to play in RB2, worried about Carter versus Bills. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine, man. Check if Devin Singletary. I mean, Devin Singletary's got a great matchup versus the Jets as well. So check if he's around. I mean, it's probably unlikely, but he would be another good player. But yeah, I like where you're going with that. I think that's the right direction to go in, man. Oh man, we couldn't get the fumble. But James Robinson, obviously a better start than Carter. But yeah, Carter is not going to be. I mean, we're just gonna have to tamper expectations for him on the week, man. Jesus LMSG, appreciate the info, my man. He definitely earned a new subscriber. Hey, we appreciate that support to the channel and just appreciate you being out here in the Catch fam tonight. And yeah, we definitely look forward to having you as a part of the Catch fam, guys. So hey, appreciate you, man. All right, let's see here. Ronald, that's how I spell Ronnie too. Hey, there you go. A couple of Ronnies in the chat. Simon for President, what's up, man? I gotta run. Got to run this play. Oh, no. All right. Could have Dylan in case J-Rob doesn't go this week, or should I just stay with Carter and RB2? Thoughts? Ooh. Yeah, I think at that point, just due to volume, you maybe take a swing there on Carter over Dylan. But it's really, really tough, man. Really, really tough. Look at this play by Metcalf, man. Where's your headspace at, Simon? How do you feel overall with it, I should ask? All right, let's try and get a crazy little play here. Ooh, that's a catch, right? Okay. Yeah, I think that the problem with Dylan, man, is he's just not finding the end zone. He's a fine enough fill-in, but Carter's at least going to get those touches within the red zone, right? So he at least has the chance to score if the Jets can sum up anything against the Bills, right? Ray Gamer, I have Cook and Chubb right now. Should I consider trading a Cook away? I would say no. No, I don't see any reason to try and make that move, man. I really don't. So I would say no personally. And I mean, I know that Chubb is maybe out this week with COVID, but he's still not officially out, so I wouldn't lose faith there. All right, guys, I want to know your thoughts on this, okay? I'm seeing rumors, okay? You know, just speculate because they're just rumors, but I'm seeing rumors that Odell Beckham might sign with the Packers. How do you guys feel about that? Good fit? Bad fit? I'm interested to know. I think it's a decent fit. It's not my favorite, but it's decent, right? Just rumors, though. Okay, but some sources that are good with rumors. I'll say that much. Odell Beckham to the Packers, potentially. Get off me. Get off me. Okay. That's kind of crazy if he does end up on the Packers. All right, let's see. Can we get a good play going? What was that throw? Aaron Rodgers, are you kidding me? A-Rod just let us down, boys. Dude, we got to take Aaron Rodgers out of this game. Look at him taunting us. Ronald, I heard the Seahawks. Hey, I could see that too. Dude, did anyone see that throw right there? Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, this guy's got Justin Fields, so we got to watch him. Okay, yeah, look at you coming out with the 15 lead. Oh man, what a bad drive. What a bad drive. Okay, we got to redeem ourselves here. Ronnie, I also heard that. Okay. I mean, I believe that too. Like I said, just rumors, so I'm not really sure. Seahawks would be interesting as well. All right, I'm going to try and just bomb this thing to DK Metcalf. Well, that kind of worked. Devin, what's going on, man? Should I give McCaffrey for Mixon and James Robinson? My other running backs are Zeke, Javonte, and Kenyon Drake in a 12-man league. Ooh, that's a decent trade, man. Yeah, that's a decent trade. Man, I spent way too much time. I would consider that. Let us know for Devin. Would you guys do that? McCaffrey for Mixon and James Robinson. I mean, yeah, I would definitely consider that just looking at the depth involved overall. It's worth it. Wow, that was the worst play I've ever made in Madden. Yo, this guy's making some moves. Ronnie says at Devin, I would. I think that's a pretty good trade, actually. Ray Gamer, should I pick up Ravens defense versus Dolphins, Titans versus Saints, or just play the Colts defense versus the Jaguars? I like the Colts defense, but man, the Titans defense versus Trevor Siemian and company are probably going to be an absolute must start. Yeah, I would consider them for sure. I really like the Titans defense this week. No Alvin Kamara potentially. Trevor Siemian at quarterback. Yeah. If you can't get them, the Colts are a fine start, though. If he goes to the Seahawks, not only is he useless, so is Lockett after. Ooh. I think Lockett will be fine either way. Should I trade Tony for Ridley? I can afford to have someone sit out a few weeks. Yeah, if you can afford it, then yeah, I would. I got to piece together a drive here and just get on the board if we're going to have any chance at beating this guy. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this off, though. Ridley is not playing. The whole season, have we gotten that word yet? I mean, because if there's potential he comes back, then I think it's worth considering here. Ooh, that was a scary play. I got to step this up, man. I do not know this playbook. Okay, let's try this play again. Chubb still has a chance to play. He has many days to test negative twice. I'm putting in a waiver for Freeman or Murray. Whoever the starting RBS, I'm putting the waiver in for Madison just in case. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Chubb can still play. Absolutely right on that. So, yeah, I don't mind that play at all. I really do like Freeman at the moment, but if Murray comes back, that obviously complicates things as well. Wow, my team is awful. No, we're going for it, boys. I'm going to let this man just have a fantastic night. All right, should I drop Dallas then? Yeah. If you have to. Dude, my team is so bad. I'm not going to quit this game, I swear. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, I definitely agree with getting Ridley over Tony. Absolutely. Dude, this guy is so much better than me at Madden. Oh my gosh, this game has not been my game. We're on the go to Cook gets dropped by the Vikings. I'm about to be so sad. This seems like it's going to be a long legal battle. I don't think that there's nothing to worry about with Cook. Yeah, there's nothing to worry about with Dalvin Cook at all. It's not going to affect fantasy. He's the victim. Yeah. There's nothing to worry about. He's the one filing the lawsuit. So you don't need to worry about Dalvin Cook at all. And from everything I've looked into, which is not a whole lot. Don't get me wrong. We found this out during the stream, but I mean, I just double checked and I'm still not seeing anything that indicates that this is going to affect fantasy in any way. All right. Let's see here. Ray Gamer, you can drop Dallas at this point. Yeah, they'll probably still have a couple good games, especially in some of those divisional games, but the Titans are just worth rostering at this point in time, man. Should I trade away Debo for Nick Chubb? Yeah, I would consider that for sure. Debo's been phenomenal on the season, but I would still consider this, absolutely. Let's see here. Should I trade away DK and Aaron Jones for Swift and Saquon? It just depends, Christian, on your overall roster. But I think I would lean. I mean, I really like the RB depth, but DK has been phenomenal in the season. So I think I'm still leaning DK and Aaron Jones there. Seth, do I trade away Kamara for Amari, Waller, and Judy? I'm 2-7. My other running back is Swift. My RB2 would become Javonte. Receivers are DK and Russell Gage. No, I don't think I'd do that trade. All right, let's see here. Trade away Kamara for Amari, Waller, and Judy. No, I wouldn't do that. I don't think I'd do that. I mean, got hit with the A-Rob curse, so you're trying to get Amari, Waller. It's not an awful trade, but I just think losing Kamara is too much. So I don't think I'd do it, quite frankly. Ray Gamer, if I lose Dalvin, I'll be sad, but luckily I still have Chubb and have Monte coming back next week. And I still have CH and hoping to have Madison on my bench. Okay, Ron the Goat. New update says she's accusing him of holding her hostage at gunpoint and some other crazy stuff. Wow. Yeah, that definitely affects things. But at the same time, guys, like I just think that a lot of the times when we see these situations, it is a long legal battle, right? And we're going to have to quit this game. Oh my gosh, this guy destroyed me. But usually, like, unless it's something like that's been filmed or like photos come out, right? Or something that's just completely awful, right? Like we don't see the outcome until the following season. So I wouldn't worry too much right there. I wouldn't worry too much. I mean, it's not a good situation. You guys are probably right, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. And I know it's easier said than done, but we'll just have to sit back and not overreact to this news, right? All right, James, would Javonte be better or worse from a fantasy standpoint if OBJ signs? What about DK? I don't think it affects either of them. I really don't. Like Odell will take away a couple targets a game, but I don't think that it takes away too much value overall from guys of that caliber like Javonte and DK Metcalf. Yeah, I'm not concerned about them. Christian, start two. DK, D Hop, Woods, or Keenan Allen. For me, on the week, man, DK for sure. For sure. And then it's between Woods and Allen. Right now, I kind of like where Allen's at, man, in terms of his red zone usage. So I'm going to lean Allen, but I really like Robert Woods as well. Seth, would you rather start Russell Gage or Marvin Jones? For me, it's Russell Gage. He's getting the target share, man. It's not phenomenal, but full PPR, it's good enough. So yeah. Seth, what happened? Yeah, we don't fully know. Let me. Okay, so what's the latest? Okay, 7 minutes ago from Sports Illustrated, Dalvin Cook faces lawsuit alleging physical and emotional abuse. A former girlfriend filed a lawsuit against Vikings running back Dalvin Cook, alleging that he physically abused her and held her hostage. Okay. And then Dalvin Cook has also filed a lawsuit against her. Okay, so Adam Schefter's tweeting about this as well. Let's see here. Okay. There's a lot, if you guys look online, there's a lot about this, but yeah, we're just gonna have to monitor this, right? I don't know what else to say at the moment. There's extortion involved too. I don't know what to say at the moment. Ray Gamer, hoping Cook will be good. His mental health has been struggling a lot this year, and last year he just lost his dad. Yeah, that's sad. That's sad. Seth, I heard something about gunpoint. Yeah, that's in there too. Juke, do you think Michael Carter is going to have another good game this week? It's a very, very bad matchup, Juke, so I'm not entirely sure. But the volume will be there, Juke. The volume will absolutely be there. And that's, if they can get into the end zone, that's really all that matters, man. So we'll find out. All right, let's see here. All right, my guys. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wind down the stream, man. Appreciate everyone coming out tonight. Was a great stream, man. Got some great fantasy Q&A going. So appreciate everyone coming out, man. We'll be back on tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Steven and I both will be in the building. Juke, should I start Bateman over Carter? Yeah, Bateman's got the higher upside with that matchup, so you can definitely consider it. I mean, going up against Miami, if it's full PPR, you can definitely consider it. If not, then Carter is probably the better half PPR standard scoring guy. But guys, appreciate everyone coming out, man. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. If you guys are new to the channel, do kindly ask that you guys consider subscribing down below. Appreciate all of the new support tonight, man. Had a blast with you guys as always. Like I said, we'll be on tomorrow night, 7:30 sharp. Go check out Steven's must-start defenses of the week, and we'll be dropping the must-start kickers tonight as well. So make sure you guys go check that out. Drop a like on it as well. It truly does help out the channel. But I just appreciate this community, man, every week. It's just a blast hanging out with you guys, man. So just let's get prepared for week 10, man. A great start to the week. You guys had some amazing questions tonight. The chat was popping. So just appreciate you guys coming out, stream after stream, man. You guys are truly the best subscriber base we could ask for here at the Catch. C-Crib, which QB should I start this week, Hurts or Carr? I'm leaning Hurts there. With a bounce back game. Yeah, Hurts for sure. We'll be back on tomorrow night, so make sure you guys got that notification bell on so you never miss an upload or a stream. And happy to get back into some great fantasy Q&A with you guys tomorrow. Like I said, 7:30 sharp. So we will see everyone tomorrow. Got nothing else to say or nothing else left to say. But thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch, and peace.